Hello, everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. I am not your Dungeon Master, but I am your host tonight, and we are playing the Pirates of Coldharbour. Josh is DMing tonight. How are you doing, Josh? And how are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. I feel powerful and vengeful for the Kai origin story that happened last night. No pressure.
Still a little emotional. I understand. It's a big day for you.
Yep, indeed.
Cool.
Yes.
So remind us, what are we doing tonight, Josh? Who are we?
So tonight we are playing the Pirates of Coldharbour. We have myself as the DM, Will, who is playing Sutcliffe Marlowe, Beth, who is playing Nancy Locke, and then there is Rem, who is playing. Remley is playing Tater Dandy, Chip Tater Dandy, and his daughter Sydney, who's playing Tot. And we
probably
were
specify that the character is the daughter and not Sydney.
Okay.
Daughter.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we find ourselves aboard the Lance Held High. But how did we come to be aboard the infamous pirate lord's ship, Lance Held High? Does anyone remember?
We got
Give me a
in
recap,
bar
someone.
fight, and
That's how it all started.
that's how every good adventure starts. And we killed some people, and then the ship was getting attacked, so we got on our ship, and we took control of it because the captain's not really. He's never around. He's just never around. And
Never calls.
never calls, never writes. And so we took control, and there was some navy ships and there was some pirate hunter ships, and we kind of broke through some of them and got shot.
You basically scraped through by the skin of your teeth, which I really wasn't expecting. So I've done a little bit of. For you guys in chat, I've done a little bit of refining of naval combat to try and help these guys out because they did so terribly badly last time. So now all of our player characters have access to the character sheet for the ship, Lance Held High. So it's got weapons and stuff. It's all armed up. Hopefully this will lead to them not doing so terribly badly in a naval encounter. But for now, we don't find ourselves in a naval encounter. For now, we find ourselves in a very luxurious cabin. You'd recognise this as obviously the cabin for the captain's cabin. It's very well laid out. There's a lot of there's a massive, huge carved desk. It's all carved out of a single piece of wood. It's quite impressive. No joints or anything like that. A lot of very expensive decadent furniture. It's actually quite garish, really. I mean, you can tell this is a room of trophies, so there's not really a theme going. It's just if it's expensive looking, he probably has it in there. And there's also a huge table that's laid out, and it's got lots of food on it that you would imagine is going to waste and isn't being offered to any of the crew, which gives you a pretty quick impression of what kind of a man this captain is. But for now, he's smiling broadly at both. Thank you for that, Beth. Just hired away some stuff that we've planned, and yeah, he finds himself staring at a very large. Well, describe to us what Tater looks like.
Yeah, Tater. He's I'll pull up his character sheet, read straight off of that. I'll say Tater is he's a mid-50s male, just under 6 feet tall, about 280 pounds though, so he's a hefty fellow. He's one of those barbarians who favors constitution over strength and dex. He's more of those just run in, take the hit, keep on trucking like that. He's kind of grizzly looking because he lives kind of in the wild a bunch. And that's pretty much it. That little picture that you see above my name in the channel, that's kind of what his little avatar character looks like. So that is Chip Tater Dandy.
In my head, he's actually a cartoon. Like everyone else is real, and he's just a cartoon. Like, hey guys,
like Roger Rabbit.
Well, I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'll deal with it.
You need to put me back to that Saturday morning channel that I snuck out of.
Yeah. Cool. And Sydney, describe Tot briefly for us.
Okay, Tot is about like 5'5", a little bit taller than I am, and she's like 19, and I mean, she's okay. She looks kind of dirty, like, constantly because of who she is as a person, but that's fine because of her glowing personality. She,
Which came across last episode when she immediately told everyone her father was having gay relations with the captain. That was interesting.
I couldn't have rolled any kind of insight check to see that
You,
coming.
you literally, you've been on the ship 20 minutes and you were like, let's mutiny. And everyone was like, who is this girl?
yeah, I mean, she's pretty average to look at.
Robot mode engaged.
Robot mode is indeed engaged.
Yeah.
If you're
Do-
like watching the stream, I'd like suggest pausing it. That would help bandwidths and stuff.
Yeah. Not like people in chat.
Yeah.
you don't pause it. Please don't pause stream. But yeah, Sydney, if you're watching it, pause it. Maybe just have chat up. But yeah, so Sydney, so she's Tot's quite a dirty sort of. She's looks scrappy, I guess, would be a good way of describing her.
Pippi Longstocking.
Yeah. I have no idea who that is, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
How can you not know who Pippi Longstockings is?
I just
Let's
don't.
move on from that.
You
Immediately
weird
take broadside damage. Fuck you. I don't have to explain myself to you. So yeah, and you find you two find yourself in front of a man who's stood behind a desk. He has two mounted guns on his desk, sort of like they're heavy machine guns. He's entirely from the future. He's got two essentially what look like smaller cut down swivel guns, but you imagine they do they would really hurt and definitely stop dead any sort of charge on the captain's quarters, and that as well tells you that he's an incredibly paranoid man. But he's an overweight fellow. He's got quite a beet red face. He's wearing some really I want to say rambunctious clothing because I like that word. I'm pretty sure that's accurate, yeah. And he's got a huge hat and a huge gut to go with it, and he stands up and he says, Gator, I was hoping to talk to you and your smaller person. I presume this is your daughter. It's curious you never mentioned her to me.
Well, sir, never really got quite the chance to talk to you at the beginning. After all, there were these Navy ships coming in. We kind of just, had to go on and take care of business. But now that we're in the doldrums of this aftermath, we can maybe sit down and have a palaver.
He nods and says, well, if it's all the same, I'd prefer to speak to her speak to you even in private. And and Tot is, hopefully without protest, escorted from the room just while we try and get Sydney back.
She's coming back in.
Cool, yes. She's just taken just outside by one of the guards and shot immediately. So that happens and the doors close and you find yourself alone with this man. He says, Tater, I want to be brutally honest with you.
All right,
find
sir.
I say yes. I find myself in a difficult situation. You see, there are certain feelings amongst some of the crew that I feel they have lost confidence in me.
Well, I don't know why, sir, they'd think that of you. After all, there were two Navy ships and a privateer, and we sank one. We tore the other one to smithereens. I mean, we got peppered ourselves, but we're still floating. We got some bruises, but we're still up.
Yes, quite. And I think it will make a hearty good tale for the crew. I'm sure they're toasting my success, but still, I hear things, Tater, and they're not good. I was wondering if maybe, as you are new aboard the ship, I could rely on your counsel, as it were.
Well, sir, I have no problem suggesting a few words to you. If you asked upon them, you will get utmost honesty out of me, good sir.
Good, good. And in exchange, consider your daughter under my personal protection. But enough of that. We men should discuss this over some dinner. And he sort of he gestures to some of the food and he says, "Once I've had all this cleared away, I'll have something whipped up for us. I'm sure the holds are still fully stocked. In the meantime, consider yourself my second in command." He says this very casually.
Okay, Tater's very, taken aback by something like that. He's, only barely been employed for under today, and so he kind of, straightens up a little bit and,
Well, sir, I don't know how I could thank you for that, but I reckon my actions spoke for me out there in that fight, so I'll assume that you just you like the way I handle these crazy situations.
Yes, and my personal guards, they say you made bloody work of some of those Navy boys. I'm impressed, Tater. I've heard tales of your savagery in battle, and that as well of your wise counsel. And he pauses, gives you a long, thoughtful look, and then he says, "Tater, I have a question for you."
Well, sir, I'd be glad to provide you with an answer.
He looks around and gestures for you to come closer. He's got sort of a conspiratorial look about him.
okay, I step up close to him, but I don't get, overly close to where it wouldn't be, formal.
Oh yes.
I try to keep up
sort
the...
of, you both sort of lean.
There's
over the
rumors
desk.
about this, so I can't look certain way.
No, but,
Yeah.
I kind of get in close, but, I still make sure there's that level of superiority.
He kisses you passionately. No,
Dear Captain.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. So yeah, no, you find yourself sort of you're leaning close to him, and he sort of whispers and says, "Surely you must have heard of the tales of the pirate legend of Coldharbour."
Let's see. I guess can I make a history check to see if my character?
Yeah, roll me a history check. Let's see.
Because
see how much you know.
let's go and get the first roll done of the.
Let's get
history.
that first nat one, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
16. No, 16's not bad. Okay, so you've heard of Coldharbour. It's supposedly it's an old pirate myth / legend / completely unproven, supposedly. It's one of those things people like, they sing songs of the Coldharbour, and it's almost something that's revered by pirates. Supposedly there's Coldharbour is a location. It's actually located on the Forgotten Isles, which is classic. This being pirates naming stuff, everything is like the Forgotten Isles, the Lake of Death, and, it's the Lost Isles. So supposedly it's somewhere to the north of the main landmass of Yai, and supposedly it's a pirate fortress, and there is supposedly some pretty valuable stuff there. There's sort of various legends. People say, you've heard people say, "Oh, there's mounds of gold," and other people have said, no, it's just somewhere that you can be free and safe forever and live out your days. So yeah, you would have heard quite a few contradicting sort of things, but the vague idea is there is a place called Coldharbour.
Well, sir, I've heard some tales, over my years. I mean, I always, scurried those up to just banter around a campfire or two, but if you have something a bit more tangible, then I'm all ears.
As you say the word tangible, and a small smile forms on his fat face, and he He says, well, maybe I have something for you. And he waddles round his desk. Yeah, he heads over to a door. There's only 2 doors in this cabin. One, the double doors that you came through, and then there's another set of doors that's sort of round a corner from where you came in. And he walks over to it and pulls out a set of keys, and he unlocks a heavy reinforced looking door, and he heads inside. And do you follow him?
I'd suppose that I'd follow behind. I'd keep my distance a little bit just in case I'm not supposed to be there.
Yeah, no, he turns around and it doesn't seem to be. He sort of gestures for you to follow. You find yourself actually in his bedroom.
Oh,
Captain.
Oh, cool. Can I do that? Give me 1 second. Yeah, so that sort of goes down. He invites you into his bedroom. There's probably a sort of a raised eyebrow or two. It's a little awkward, but he heads over, and at the foot of his bed is a large chest. It's a very, very old, battered-looking chest. Everything else, in the room looks very plush, very decadent, but this chest looks like it's been dragged up from the depths. So he goes over, he gestures to that, and he after a few minutes of faffing, you can't really see what he's doing. He's quite clearly it's quite clearly a complicated locking mechanism on it, and he unlocks it, and from inside he pulls a couple of layers of just junk and tattered, what look like charts and scrolls, and finally at the bottom he says, and he lifts out a really heavy looking scroll. The parchment is dismal condition. Everything about it just says, this is very, very old. And he lifts it up, this huge scroll, and he smiles and sort of clutches it as if it's a long lost child he hasn't seen in a while, and he says, do you know what these are?
Well, sir, not off the top of my head, but judging by the condition of it, I suggest it's quite the antique. Maybe it'll take us to antique lands.
He says, not exactly. Antique says that something was antiquated, out of date, but these, my friend, are still very accurate, for they are charts. One of 5 original sets that lead to the Coldharbour. And he gives you a serious look, and he says, which is precisely where I plan to take our ship next.
I guess I kind of look at him and,
well, sir, you mentioned that's one of 5 charts. Does that mean it's part of a larger map, or there's only 5 maps to this place?
You obviously know that I, myself, being a man of gentry and yes, and taste, and many a good meme in the past, many a valiant victory in the past, I have earned a healthy reputation, including that the title of a pirate lord, one of 5 pirate lords blessed enough to sail on these seas. Well, the title comes with keys to the kingdom, as it were, and he wraps his fingers on the along this scroll, and he says, "You see, there are 5 pirate lords. Each of us takes his mantle of either killing his predecessor, or in some rare cases you inherit it from someone who dies before their time and sees you fit to take up the mantle. A pirate lord is a force to be reckoned with, but You only maintain the title as long as you are the most bloodthirsty pirate in your area of sea. So, there are 5 of us. There's Ario the Black. Quite frankly, I'm not really sure how he maintains his title. The bastard doesn't seem to give a damn about anything. He's a drunk and a... well, let's just say I don't see eye to eye with him. Then there's myself. There's also Pirate Lord Alan, Alan Kane. He's possibly the most foolhardy and fierce of us. And then there's Admiral Hawk, who, well, he was sent to hunt down his predecessor by the Navy and decided he had a bit of a taste for the pirate lifestyle. I heard he still sails with a ship of men in uniform, despite the fact that he's a turncoat. But he's a bloody fierce pirate when it comes down to the chase, and I wouldn't want to see him bearing down on me.
I kind of I think you've told me 4 of the names, and so
Yeah.
I guess
Yes, well then, sir, who would the 5th pirate lord be?
He looks uncomfortable. You get a feeling there was a reason he didn't mention it. Sorry, hold on.
Okay.
And yeah, no, so you get a feeling like he doesn't want to mention it. There's a reason, and he goes over and he closes the door and he locks it, and turns and says, "There is a 5th, but we don't talk of him very often. He's he's unlike the rest of us." And you'd be able to tell that he looks genuinely scared, sort of mentioning this. I mean, Borrow's quite a fierce bloke, so it's it's a little intriguing to see that. But
So this last industry captain is very much like a final boss kind of captain.
yeah, it's entirely possible. No, he says, "The 5th, well, I tell you his name, but we don't actually know his name or his real identity. We simply call him the Jester. It sounds a little childish, I know, but..." He shivers and then he says, "You've never seen a ship like that, sailing so quietly on the seas. It's said that every single man aboard or woman aboard his ship lives in perpetual fear of the captain. They say he never steps foot on deck, and they say his ship cannot be sunk. We never know where he sails, where he makes port, but in times of great strife, when, say, the time 20 years back when I'd just taken my command of the lance held high, we were waylaid by the Navy, which was a lot stronger back then. There was only 4 of us pirate lords and a few minor vassal ships against an entire navy. We were outgunned, outmanned, and outclassed. And the bastard came out of nowhere. Never seen so many cannons flash, nor have I ever seen a ship take such a beating and brush it off, but he went in head first with 12 fire ships under his command. It's not a proud moment, but we ran, and when we returned we found naught but shipwrecks and dead men floating amongst the sea, and there was no trace of him. It's best we don't talk of him so much. The last person I'd like to see up close is that man or thing."
Okay. Tater kind of nods and
All right, sir. Well, obviously the long-term plan is obtaining passage to Coldharbour. Will this undertaking require us to come into contact with some of these pirate lords?
He says, not if I can help it. You see, it's not the pirate lords that I'm worried about. It's the crew. In the last few months, I've heard grumblings, and I fear a mutiny aboard. Now, I wish to take the ship to Coldharbour as a position of strength, somewhere where I can weed out any mutineers in my own leisure. But getting there is no small task, and I need my wits about me. Specifically, I need good, loyal men around me.
Okay, tell him,
Well then, sir, how about you worry about getting us to Coldharbour? I'll worry about what these men are worrying about.
He nods, he says, good. Well, for now, I think it's probably best that your daughter stays with the guards in the guardhouse. It's just out and on the right. She'll be safe there, and it's just while the men settle down. But you are free to go as you please, and you may see her if you wish. And, well, best us keep this just between you and me. But if you find out anything, any potential plans for mutiny, you let me know.
okay,
Well, does the rest of the crew know that I'm second in command, or is that also to be kept hush and I just pretend I'm a regular, grunt worker out there with the rest of them?
Say, maybe I haven't made this clear enough. I'm, getting on. I've seen my fair shares of naval battles and pillaging and various other things, but well, lately I've been stockpiling treasure, gold, wealth, power, everything I can lay my hands on, because I plan to be the first pirate lord to retire in peace. But a pirate lord can't simply retire without handing over his ship to an honorable captain, if you catch my drift.
I kind of bristle up a little bit and,
Yes, sir, I catch that drift quite wholehandedly.
He says, good. But understand something. If you fail me, Tater, I will not be merciful. And he sort of dismisses you with a gesture.
okay, I, kind of sort of bow in a courteous manner, and I turn and step out into the, outer room where I suppose Tot and the guards are.
No, Tot's actually out, so you're now in the captain's cabin. There's actually she's out, and like there's basically the captain's area, the captain's part of the ship. It's just below the poop deck, and he has. If you walk in, it's just below like the stairs and where the wheel is, and you've got a corridor to your left and to your right, which both lead to guns, like cannons on the side of the ship, and then you walk down a corridor in front of you, and at the end is the double doors that lead into the captain's quarters, and on your left would be the guard's house. You're not really sure. There's a room to your right for something, so she would be there. But you actually step out and find there's a couple of the captain's guards standing in his quarters looking. They're giving you a certain look, especially after the conversation they overheard with you and your daughter. You've just come out of the captain's bedroom. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
There are looks.
Yeah, you're in.
Woo!
Sydney,
We
thank
have a
goodness.
Sydney, and your
God
father
bless.
has just walked out of the captain's bedroom, and loads of guards have just witnessed it.
Okay.
You made me
Not that there's
gay.
anything wrong with that, and Counter Roleplay entirely endorses it.
Yeah, Josh in particular.
Yeah,
So-
I'm so behind it.
It's like,
Half a
it's like there's this great big
That's where this
asterisk.
is going. This is going towards the first proper enlightened pirate ship with a gay club in the cargo hold. So anyway, yes. So as you leave, yeah, there are a few cocked eyebrows. So you've actually it's been maybe an hour actually, that conversation, after you'd faffed around and you sort of he'd showed you some schematics, not schematics, some charts, not the you'll know he didn't actually open the charts to Coldharbour, so they just remained rolled up parchment, but where he keeps them, and he's obviously entrusted quite a burden to you. But in this time, other stuff has been going on. So we're going to cut now to who should we
Okay.
cut to? Sutcliffe. How are things, Sutcliffe? What's going on?
Okay, just chopping up some of these well, I say they're vegetables. They might once have been, but never mind. Just chuck them in all the same. Yeah, I'm down here in the kitchen, doing my thing. Doing
Cool.
my,
So you're on the lower deck.
Yeah.
And the kitchen's it's towards the back. It's unsettlingly it's right next to the infirmary, and
They're hungry lads.
yeah, well, there have been
You don't have
rumours that
scurvy,
the
it's
captain
lies.
supposed yeah, a couple of the rumours about the captain were apparently he supposedly fed some of the men back to the crew.
Fed them
It's a
his-
rumour, but
his
you probably know
homosexual
more than anyone
germs,
else.
no doubt. So it's going
what's
through.
what's going on? You're chopping up veg and stuff.
Yeah, I'm probably trying to make a bit of dissent. We're probably talking with like some other chef, like cook friends who we're talking about the recent events, how the captain wasn't there, and all this, and the fact that he may be sleeping with men, and all that sort of thing. He's more than happy to stir things up
Yeah,
regarding
exactly.
the captain's sexuality when it comes to the other men.
Absolutely, it's causing quite a scandal. I mean, a couple of your mates are just like, "Get out of it, mate!" Like, come on, Sutcliffe, you're just trying to have us on. The captain's sleeping with, like any man
Well, I
would have
heard
him.
old cheeky Jim came out just a minute ago and said that the captain was just seen with that other one, the big tater lad, coming out of his bedroom. So, well,
There's a couple of a couple of people just like, no, I don't believe it, and then someone else is like, no, I heard that as well. Yeah, Jim, one of the guards. He, he's all right, Jim. I trust him, and
he may be old
says
and
he saw
cheeky, but
that.
he's got a good eye.
He's yes, and he likes to gossip after he's had a few, and well, he's always had a few. Well, the captain never says anything, and he said Captain Tater were in that room for an awful long time, alone, with the bed, you know what it's like. You know?
Yeah, well, I don't. Sounds like the devil's work to me.
One of them just sort of pipes up from the back. He's like, "Yeah, I thought the ship was rocking a little bit more than it usually does." And there's hey, everyone, hey, the boys, hey. But seriously, guys,
yeah, but honestly, that is.
so yeah, you're actually one of them turns to you and says, the Sutcliffe, I'm out of there. I'm out of broth. We need to bring some stuff up from the cargo hold, will you?
Aye, that I will. I go down. To
Cool. So yeah,
find
you
the
go
broth
down like
which is in the hold for some reason. I put it
it's
there.
just entirely. Yeah. There's just no. Like you keep so in the cargo
This is the
hold. There's
broth
actually
room.
a
We
section
call it
that's
the broth.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's right next to the cells, which is kind of creepy. It's actually there's like the food stores / like where people keep like where the alcohol's kept and like all the food and stuff. Mainly alcohol. Most of the cargo is given over to alcohol. No rum, surprisingly. None of these guys drink rum.
Why is the rum always
Yeah,
gone?
it's always gone because they don't. They hate rum. I'm doing this on principle. Okay, damn it. So yeah, no, they you go down and do you head into the food store? I guess.
Yeah, I go grab my bits and bobs. I've probably got like this is where I keep some of my things, like my bits and bobs, and I might like sleep down here occasionally. Like,
Yeah. I
some
mean,
shit
well,
down here.
yeah. You can have
And
had
have
a
evil secret meetings down here as we pray.
Cool. So what? Yeah. Well, funny you should mention sort of secrets and stuff because you actually hear a chipper voice behind you, which probably catches you off guard because these
Who's
are food
being so
stores. No one
chipper
really.
on this boat?
Yeah.
Only allowed to
It's
be chipper
Tater.
on the
No,
upper
it's not
levels.
We've already got enough chipper going on up there.
He's got one on his shoulder and all.
Yeah.
Chip
So
on
you
my
actually hear
shoulder.
a voice from behind you say, Sutcliffe, how is it that you always manage to turn such crappy ingredients into such fine cuisine? And you notice
turn
James
around.
is...
Yeah, I turn around and say, human blood.
Yeah. He laughs and he's just like, well, there is that rumor of the infirmary being next to the kitchen for a reason.
Oh,
The captain's
right.
bloodthirsty, but well.
He gets a hankering like we all do.
Oh yes, I'm sure. So I was just wondering. Couldn't help but notice you were having a few chats with some old friends. When
No,
we
I
made
don't
port
have any
last.
old friends, no. Only new ones. I'm constantly making new friendships.
Yeah, you're really good at that, aren't you? I have to say I'm particularly impressed with how many friends you've made. I mean, how long have you been embarked with us? You've only been on board for what, 6 months now?
And yet it feels like I've known you all my life. Now, if you don't mind, and I try and grab some bits and
Yeah.
weasel my way
he
out
doesn't
of.
actually-
I can
he
tell
doesn't
this
actually,
conversation is
yeah.
going somewhere.
Yeah, you head out and he's like, it's almost as if you're trying to find out information on all of us. You're so friendly and chatty.
I could be that I am, if only I were not an honest, humble pirate like myself.
Yeah, he smiles and says, you're almost out the door, and he says, wouldn't it be a shame if it turned out you were anything but that, and someone found out about it?
Aye, that I suppose it would, but were that the case, I'm sure that I'd have plenty of friends that were willing to help me out for a bit of coin.
He says, well, of course, because who wouldn't want to help out a cheeky chap like yourself, unless, of course, it turned out that you'd been plotting to sell us all out.
Well, indeed. Would that I were, James. Alas, I am not but a humble, honest pirate like yourself.
Roll me persuasion.
Okay. I will hopefully not continue the awful rolls of last time. 11. Oh, I was going to
Yeah,
I was going to say last time I should have made some of my rolls deception rather than persuasion. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ooh.
It's like something.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
just
right.
lying
So yeah,
about,
for
I'm not
future,
trying to persuade people.
yeah. You're, I mean, yeah, but that's sort of, yeah, that would give too much away. I thought. So he says, absolutely, and well, let's just say, if you ever need to make some more friends, I'm sure we could come to some sort of agreement.
I lean in closer. Aye, really? Are you not but a humble pirate such as myself as well, James?
Well, like, he leans in, he gives you a broad smile, and he says, well, I can't say I've ever hunted pirates like you have, but then again, I don't know how much the privateers pay for a snitch like you.
I say, ever a joker, James, ever a joker. Alas,
Smile.
there are no pirate hunters nor privateers around these parts, as well I know. Did you not see me crash through that pirate hunter ship not but yesterday?
He says, aye, but you weren't at the helm, were you? And more importantly...
That might have been at one point, actually. I don't remember.
Yeah, no, that was
I think I did
Tater
crash
for
I
that
think-
point.
I don't remember.
No, it was the Navy ship. Like I.
Oh, did I
kept
crash through the
track.
Navy ship?
Yeah, you. There was the Navy ship.
Oh, well, I'd say, did you not see me crash
Yeah,
through
yeah.
a Navy ship, yeah.
He says, yes, and well, it'd be interesting to see what the pirate hunters that employ you have to say about that.
That employ me. I'm sorry you've lost me, James. Do you have some kind of information or proof, or are you merely speculating in the dark here with me? People start talking if we keep meeting like this, you know.
He smiles and says, you remember Mr. Smith, don't you?
Of course I do.
You'd remember Mr. Smith.
Says
so
Will,
Mr. Smith
having no
would be
information on his own.
Mr. Smith would be the contact that essentially you have with the pirate hunters, who is essentially relaying the information from your
Gotcha.
commander.
I say,
You traitorous dog.
Smithy, old Smith, which Smith be we talking about here? I know at least 17.
Yeah. He laughs, and he's like, very well, if you don't want to play ball with me at the moment.
Oh no, I'd like to play ball, James. The thing is, I'm currently playing other games, you see. Hockey, for instance.
James, just... Aye, and what kind of treacherous devilry be hockey when it's at home?
So yeah.
Did Sutcliffe just invent hockey? I
He
like
did.
it.
He did.
Amazing.
It's,
The royalties
I'd
for that
say,
must be amazing.
it really is. We're looking at some good revenue in
He's
the
Canadian.
next few. Vicious rumor. Silence. It was Sutcliffe in the past. No, yeah, I say,
Well, how do you know this Smith, then?
Says, let's just say, I know him well enough to know where you keep this. And he pulls out a dagger, and he's got, you've been chatting, and this time he's been sat on a barrel, and it's an old barrel. It's basically propped up a table, like someone's laid a table on it. So barrel probably hasn't been used much, but he sticks a dagger into between some of the slats. I can't actually remember what. You, Cooper man, Tater, you're a Cooper. Tell me about what is barrel construction. What would you call the outside of a barrel?
the shit.
Or a
That's
wooden
outside of a
bit.
barrel. Let's see.
The outside of a barrel is what I thought the outside of a barrel. Thank you,
Yeah, cool.
Kalis, for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend.
Yeah, so he sticks his dagger in, and it slides in between a gap, and the barrel is actually labelled. It is labelled rum. I
It's
lied.
got
They
a,
have rum
a
on
stab.
board. Stab. So
I've
he sticks
reordered it
between
to
the
taste
slabs.
like myrrh, so no one knows exactly what it is. Cunning ploy.
Yeah, it's just,
and
it's
here's-
like no,
here's
but
a-
no, it's
And a
Huh?
little hole that where the cork goes on top of the barrel, like if it's on the side. That's called the bung
Yeah.
hole.
Yep.
I will note that with increased
Yes.
enthusiasm in the future. But
yes.
yeah, so it's been there for ages because someone's used it to probably you actually has used it to prop a table up, and I mean it's good enough. Why find something else? It works, so no one's
Gotcha.
bothered moving it. But he sticks his dagger in and he twists it, and one of the drums or whatever he just said it was pops open, and inside you see a glint of your hidden stash of gold, probably what you've been using to buy off a few of the crew.
Yeah. I say,
Well, it seems that you have me at a disadvantage, James. So would you like to tell me what exactly is going on here?
He smiles and he says, "Oh, absolutely nothing. I'm just looking out for a friend, and I hope that friend will look out for me in the future."
What future plans might you have, friend to friend?
He says, "Well, you see, there's the whole situation with rumors of our newest destination. You must have heard, you being such a friendly, personable person amongst the crew."
Well, I heard it was something along the lines of Chillport. Is that correct?
He smiles and he says, "Chillport. You're not much of a sailor for someone who was trained by the Navy, are you? We're not going south. We're headed north." And
Oh, so you mean Coldharbour? Oh, yes, of course. Not Chillport. Completely different destination. Much
Smart.
warmer down there in Chillport this time of year, anyway.
he laughs and he says, "Coldharbour. Well, I don't suppose you have any interest in a pirate stronghold or its location now, do you?"
Well, mayhap I have the vested interest of one scholarly gentleman from one pirate to another, you know. Just a tale or shanty to tell about it.
He goes, "Well, perhaps then you'd be interested in coming to some sort of accord."
I big
I
fan
wanted
of
to say
all
that
types
so
of
bad.
all types of cords and knots, and yes, rope in general. I am a big fan of. So, what kind of a cord are we talking about here? Thin,
He says,
long?
well, I know you're a fan of rope. I've tasted your stew. So, there's like a little joking moment here, and then he brandishes his dagger and he says, but seriously, I want to ask you, when it is that we come to be at Coldharbour, how is it that you plan on getting the information back to the right people before being killed? You know you're not one of the captain's favourite people.
Well, perhaps you're about to tell me how I'm going to do that, James.
When the time comes, I'm asking that in exchange for my cooperation, in whatever capacity it may be, I'll be able to make a miraculous escape.
Miraculous, you say?
Well, you know how it is. You find yourself taking an entire pirate stronghold and one of your bloody ships goes missing. Isn't that a pain?
Aye, that it is.
He smiles. And
Yeah, like hold out a greasy hand.
Do we have a
James,
cord?
James looks at him and is just like, I feel like I'm in a movie. And he reaches out and he shakes your hand.
And I like lean in. He can feel like my dagger against his like stomach, and I'm like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's-
if you know what I'm
likewise-
saying. Is that
He's-
just,
yeah.
is that just
He's
your
like-
dagger against my
you're like-
stomach?
yeah,
or-
you've got your dagger to his stomach. He's got
Oh,
his
it's hot
dagger
down
to
here,
the
yes.
inside of your thigh. It's
Our dong is such.
someone passes and is just like mutters under their breath, it's spreading bloody men and having sex with bloody men. And yeah, devil's work, I tell you.
It's all a
yeah.
rage. Just-
I'm serious. That legitimately happened.
No, yeah, it's my dagger up against him.
Like, you better not be
Sure,
crossing
dagger.
me. Yes, that is my dagger, James.
He smiles.
No, my
and
dong
he
will be
says-
pointy.
He's got his dagger to the inside of your thigh, and he's like, and ye better not be crossing me. You wouldn't think I'd come down here and confront you if I hadn't had some form of insurance. I'm sure if I'm not back in a few minutes, the guards will start asking questions specifically about you, and we wouldn't want that now, would we? And he smiles
Do you
and he
think
turns
I
to
would
leave.
have insurance of my own? I'm very well insured, James. We're all about insurance down here.
I say kind of like, I don't know what I'm saying, and then just trying to make
like,
myself sound dangerous.
Let me
and he's
ensure
like,
that I
"Ooh."
ensure that you are insured by the
Yes.
insurance of my
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
statement.
Let me be
The
sure
flow
that you're
pops
insured
up.
about the insurance of this insured company, James.
And then I just leave like, ooh.
You hear James chuckling to himself and says, "You forgot your broth."
Or did I?
And I walk back upstairs. And then
You,
when
you walk back-
he's gone,
you-
2 minutes later, I like scurry down like, God damn, forgot the broth.
He's actually gone. He's left. You think there's a chance you may have heard like a quiet laugh in somewhere in the cargo hold.
It's just my imagination.
But it could be your imagination. Maybe it was him,
I
maybe
go
it
and get
wasn't.
the gold which I've stashed in that barrel and go hide it somewhere else.
Cool. Where do you hide it? Tell me, because I am the GM,
All right.
and I will
I'll-
not screw you with that at all.
Yeah. I go
Had it in the bunghole.
put it directly inside my bung. No, I go find like an old sack or something which I keep under a bed, my bed, where I sleep in like some kind of secret compartment which I have underneath my bed, something along those lines.
Okay, so cool. So it's in like, yeah. There's is this in the food store, so like where your bed is?
Yeah, near where I sleep.
Yeah,
somewhere.
cool. Right. So yeah, you lift up one of the floorboards and realise there's an ocean below you, and you sink the ship. There's actually. It's to level the floor out. There's actually a slight almost decking inside the deck of the hold of the ship.
Got it. Decking inside the
yeah.
deck. That makes
Yeah, no.
a lot of sense.
It's underneath. Underneath is where the bottom of the mast is fastened in place, and there is
There it
actually a
is.
small sort of stash hole, and you you lift it up, and you do it pretty. Roll me a stealth check just to see how well you do it.
Sure.
See if this,
Ooh.
and then tell me what it is, because I've momentarily had to leave roll 20.
Versus.
13. You pry it up. You're pretty sure no one saw where you stashed it, and you put it back down. You can't. You've disrupted the dust or whatever, but you don't. It looks pretty good. It's good enough.
Yeah. I carry some on me.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So I'll make a note that you have some gold on you, which is more than the rest of the ship probably has. Which I can tell you, Nancy, right now you are hearing many a grumbling from a mixture of the crew and actually some of your friends in the raiders, and they are not particularly happy about the entire lack of pay for the last few jaunts.
Yeah, I'm with them on that. I'm pretty pissed off about it, but
yeah. Cool. So you've got a couple of people, and also have you already had the? Have you guys already said your goodbyes to Benny and seen him off, or is that something that's still
yes, that
coming
would
up?
have happened.
What did you do to send off? Because Tater, unfortunately, in the last episode, killed one of your raiders on a nat 1 by accident.
That won't have any repercussions at all.
No, of course not.
Oh, thank God. Oh, man, I was getting nervous.
I was worried about that.
It was going to give me a little... If anything, a job opening just happened. Todd, you can apply to be a raider.
But yeah, basically, it was general piratey stuff. It was, just saying how good he was at what he did, and that we're going to miss him, and we'll see him again in whatever kind of afterlife there is in this world, because I haven't got around to asking yet. Is there an afterlife in this world?
Would Nancy be a religious sort of person?
I think she would have piratiness. Obviously,
So no, that's what you're trying to tell me.
Caribbean
No.
side of it, you get like the Davy Jones locker and that kind of thing.
Okay, so basically you're telling me she's a superstitious pirate. She believes that there's probably some other place. Maybe it's more likely that they believe that you continue sailing in the sky, something like that. So
that kind of thing,
not really a heaven, but we'll call it. Yeah, I mean, I guess pirates probably believe in. We'll say there's a sea beyond the sea.
That sounds good. But yeah, and that we'll meet him beyond.
Yeah, the sea beyond the sea, where the plunder is. The plunder runs almost as frequently.
The plunder
as
is
we
rich,
need.
and the captain doesn't keep it all from you.
Yeah, exactly. The plunder is rich, the rum is strong, and the wenches are saucy.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Or the men are saucy in your case. Or maybe wenches, I don't know. So anyway, moving swiftly on from questions like that. We've had enough homosexual sort of discussions, and I want to keep reasonably on track. You're getting some grumblings. Obviously, people are still pretty bitter about losing Benny. He was a good raider. He was he's probably one of the older sort of lads, and he's he's
One
proven
of the
himself.
best.
No, he wasn't one of the best, but he was just, he's an old soul. He's an old hand. He's always been there, and it's sort of adjusting to the fact that he's not there anymore. People keep expecting him to sort of wander in, swaggering, telling a great tale. He was very much the life and soul of most of the deck at times, and you're gonna miss him.
Yeah.
And on that, Edward, one of your, he's probably close to your second in command. He's your most loyal raider, and he's probably one of the most fierce. He strides over and he says, "Nancy, well, look, we've got to do something about it, Captain."
And what exactly do you expect us to do? He locks himself away in his cabin. We very rarely see him. And he's always got his stupid fucking guards standing right in front of him when he is on deck.
All right. Look, I know there's obviously that slight issue, but come on. I mean, there's 10 of us, and we'll stand. And then he realizes his mistake, and he's like, "There's 9 of us." And he sort of whispers a quick.
Rip.
Yeah, quick mummy. He rips. And he says, all right, we do it for Benny. I mean, how many shares did he lose out on? You know, he was trying to retire. You know, he just wanted a quiet life. He had that girl back at, where was it? Chillport, that was it, yeah. Was it?
Creating canon for being an idiot.
Yeah.
101.
Yeah.
From Will.
You know, Lawrence. Lauren?
Lauren?
Lauren, something, I don't know. I heard she had massive tits. Anyway, I heard he was trying to settle down with her.
She face palms.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to register it. He's just like, look, he could have been happy. He could have been up to his eyes in gold and tits and whatever. The captain robbed him of that. He wouldn't have needed to stay aboard as long as he did, and none of us would if we'd making the money we earned.
Nancy just kind of looks at him, and she obviously knows that he has a point, and he can see that on her face, because she's like, she looks really apologetic, but she's just like, come up with a plan and that's fine, but until we've got a plan, I'm not doing anything, because I kind of like it on the ship, and despite the fact the captain's a complete arsehole, but it's home.
He sort of, you know, when people just sort of blurt something out, he's just like, well, look, I'm just saying we wouldn't have this sort of problem if we had a proper captain, someone we relied on, someone, you know, someone like you. And then he sort of pauses, and like a couple of the other raiders give him like a look, and he's just like, all right, look, I said it, and maybe this is the sort of thing we should keep hushed, but
You're the one that's blurting it out, not me. But she doesn't deny it. I think she knows she would be a better captain than the captain.
I think fucking the captain probably knows you'd be a better captain than the captain. I don't think it's a particularly well guarded secret. He's not very popular, but he sort of gives you a very sort of, you know, he doesn't generally look sort of ashamed, apologetic, or anything like that. He's a fierce bastard, but he looks a little bit uncomfortable, as if he just blurted out some kind of embarrassing secret. And he says, look. He looks to the other men, and some of them look shocked, but a couple of the others are giving him like a nod, as if almost in agreement. And he says, look, I'm just saying that you're one of the best raiders I've ever met, one of the best fighters, and it's on your back that the captain's made this much plunder. We all know it, even the crew fucking know it. If it wasn't for us, and if it wasn't for the fact that you were so fucking valuable to him, he would have killed all you months ago.
Hang on. It's my fault the captain's getting all the plunder. Is that what you just said?
He looks very like, no, that's not what I mean at all. I mean
that is what you just said, though.
No, wait, Nancy, you mishear me. What I mean is, the only reason the captain has any fucking plunder is because we made it all for him, the raiders. Without us, he'd have nothing. We do all the work, so why should he get to keep all the gold? No, I say that ain't right, and I state right now that I would happier serve under someone like yourself. He gives you sort of a, hopefully I've explained myself enough, nod he tips his tricorn.
Then what do you expect us to do? Go on strike?
He just like, strike where? What do you mean? You've got a plan.
Let's perform a
Good.
demonstration.
They all look around, they're like, she's got a plan. Brilliant.
We'll all march.
Screw the pickaxes, pick up the pickets, and we'll have him, lads.
Pick at the captain.
She just kind of she wants to check if there's anyone else around other than
You know,
like
you
her
are.
raiders
Yeah,
that
so
will be able to
the raiders.
overhear
The raiders
anything
are,
that she's about to say.
Yeah, you right. So what basically it is in the midship there is like the crew quarters with like a big hole cut through the center where the sort of there's a big grate for the cargo hatch that goes down to the cargo hold below, and there's one in the ceiling, not in the ceiling, in the deck above, and there's a cargo hatch there. So it's pretty. There's sort of a hammocks and maybe a few bunks around that area, but towards the front there are the raiders. The raiders are at the near the front, like right at the front by where the there's actually a door in your area, and it leads out. Opposite you is the armory, and you can actually walk out into the front of the midship deck where the chase cannons and the anchors are. So you've essentially got a small like fort with like a
Awesome.
no dweebs sort of sign on the door.
No dweebs allowed.
People generally stay away from the raiders. They're known to fight, be pretty rowdy, and they don't mix with the rest of the crew. Like the rest of the crew respect you guys, but they're a little bit apprehensive about straying too close. So no, there's the bunks around your area are pretty much always empty. Everyone opts for sort of sleeping at the other end, nearer the kitchen. Possibly because it smells so good, thanks to Sutcliffe.
But she's just like, have you heard the rumours of our next destination?
They look around and shrug and say, well, I heard we were trying to stay close to the coast after, well, there were rumours, raiders from the Isles of Stavros. You know, those sort of ghost stories of ghost ships and all that crap. But the captain seems pretty spooked. Doesn't want to stray too far from the coast, so something's got him riled.
And what do you think that is exactly?
Well, one of them's just like, maybe he realises we're all about to slit his fucking throat. And there's a cheer, and a couple of people who are drinking raise some glasses, and you actually hear a couple of people like murmur in agreement from over where the rest of the crew are. That was probably a little bit loud, but
Nancy just kind of raises an eyebrow, and she was like, "And what exactly could get the captain so spooked?"
Well, maybe. I don't know what you've heard, but, well, you know the crew aren't particularly happy. I mean, it's not just us he's underpaying. And I've heard some people have had offers, although I'm not really sure if I buy into any of that. Some people are looking to sell their way to the top.
I was thinking.
Let's just say there's a lot of unpleasant people on board who are particularly pissed off.
I was thinking more along the lines of his fellow royalty.
They look a little confused, and then one of them just sort of shrugs and says, "What? The other pirate lords?"
There's only one thing in these waters that would spook the captain so much, and that's the jester.
Your raiders they don't look particularly happy that you're bringing that up. They a couple of them they actually sort of spit on the floor and like stamp on the spit. It's just sort of like it's supposed to ward off bad luck. It's a little gesture they do, and a little jester they do. Nah. Yeah. So yeah, they there's some seriously unhappy looking faces, but Edward he takes a big sort of a deep breath, and he sort of says, you think he's mixed up in it somehow?
He always is, isn't he? Just because he keeps off the radar, and he has been very off the radar recently.
What's a radar?
Off the map. It's been off the map recently.
No wonder he does so bloody well. He's got fucking radar and sat-nav and fucking...
GPS.
fucking... Well, I don't know why we're so scared of him. Just look him up on Google Maps. We'll find the fucker. Yeah, so they're just like, well, actually, a couple of the raiders they make their excuses about saying about I'm running dry. I need to go find someone who doesn't need their drink anymore. And you see a couple of them wander off to basically relinquish other crew members of their drinks. It's a very much a take what you can and give nothing back sort of community. Meh, meh. And I get the reference. Well done. So yeah, they do that, and they're Edward leans close and he's just like, look, it's bad luck talking about him. I mean, they say, speak of the devil and he shall appear. Well, I'm not saying he is, but you hear things, don't you?
He's no less a man than you or I.
Edward looks genuinely spooked, and he's like, but how do you know that? I mean, have you ever seen him? I don't know a single living soul that has. And he's a lot older than the rest of the pirate lords. I mean, nearing on 80 years now.
So he's good at what he does. But he is the only thing in this world that would spook the captain this much. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yes, James, that's entirely what happens if you. Oh God, James is being captured. So yeah, he shrugs and says, "Look, we can talk roundabouts and circles until the buzzards come home. But look, the point is, if the situation arises where the captain's in a vulnerable state, I say we take matters into our own hands."
And how do you expect to do that with the rest of the ship backing the captain?
You really think the rest of the ship would back the captain over the famous Nancy Locke? We all know the tales. Hell, I've heard tales even more wild than the one you told me the first time I met, and I've seen you in combat.
She's got a tail.
I heard you once took an entire galleon by yourself. They say you jumped off the figurehead as your ship rammed them, and you killed everyone on the main deck before anyone else boarded. If she hadn't been scuttled, they say you'd be captain. No, everyone's just like, no, I heard it was 20. No, 30 I heard. Bloody, no, what are you talking about, 30? 25, 20. And there's a bit of like a scuffle, like people are squaring up to each other. It's this is the sort of average community, the sort of vibe you get from the raiders. They punch their way to agreements.
They like a fight.
Yeah.
And she's just like, guys, calm down. Seriously, it doesn't matter. But yeah, she's just like, if the opportunity arises, then we will take it. But until then, keep your nose clean.
He nods and he gives her a sort of like, no, I know what you mean. He taps his nose. He's like, yeah, no, read me aloud and loud. I
mean it, Edward.
Edward sort of cuts to shit and he's like, Nancy, you know we've got your back. And
and I yours.
He sniffs the air and he's just like, smells like Sutcliffe's cooking up something good. And he wanders off.
Sutcliffe never cooks up anything good. She just kind of mutters it over her breath as he walks off.
There's quite a lot. The raiders laugh. They're quite clearly in good spirits after hearing you not completely shoot Edward down there. It's, people are feeling a little bit more upbeat. Morale is a little bit better than it was. And now we cut back to Tot. Tot, you've just been escorted out of the room with your father, who's needs to speak to the captain in private, or the captain needs to speak to him in private more importantly, and you were taken out by some of the guards. and taken into the guardhouse, which is literally you come out, turn right, and you're in the guards area.
Okay. Is anyone like in there?
Yeah, there's about 5 other men in there plus the 2, so there's 7 guards. They're all in sort of heavy armor, and they look like pretty nasty bastards. But all of them are sort of, they don't seem particularly hostile towards you. They've just been told to bring you out. So
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna kind of sit down and try to look as like badass and tough as possible. Just be like, what do you guys think is going on in there?
yeah, so yeah, so they're just like well, I don't generally ask questions when the captain gives orders, but well, you appear to know a little bit more about what's going on between the captain and his new friend. No disrespect to you, your father, or yeah, he looks uncomfortable. These are men who quite clearly overheard what's going on, and you imagine sort of word has travelled pretty fast.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. It feels really nice to get it off my chest. I've been really bitter, not having a mom because my dad's gay as hell.
A couple of them look a little. Two men actually make excuses and leave the room, and then the other 5 look like they really wish they'd found an excuse. But it's the guy, one of the guys who brought you in, one of the 2, he's standing next to you, and he says, I sympathise. My brother, he was a gay man, and well, it's not easy living with that. He's quite clearly the most unenlightened man you've ever met. He's just like poor devil, gay as you like, couldn't help it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're just like born that way or something. I'm just like sometimes it worries me that I might catch it one day. Like maybe it's like genetics or something.
He's like, no. It's not in the family. I'd know. I'd be gay. You get a feeling this guy isn't the smartest of men.
I like this guy.
I like this guy.
What's your name?
Sorry?
What's the name?
Just Davey.
All right.
Straight Dave.
Straight Dave. I think
Like
we
in
gotta
a
go back to
David,
saying it to each
but
other.
there's no bend in the way. It's straight, just like me. Dave.
Ah, understandable. Gotcha. Well, it's really, it's nice to have someone to talk to about this. I've never really talked to anybody else about the whole gay thing.
He sort of looks around, like a couple of the men are like looking over, and he looks over. You get the impression this guy's got a little bit more respect. Like maybe he sort of has some sort of position of power within the guard. So he looks over a couple of men who look like they might even be sniggering, and they shut up immediately. He just glowers at them, and he says, "No, I understand, and well, if you ever need to talk, or if your father ever makes you feel like you might catch gay, I'll be there for you."
It's like it's Pokemon.
Yeah.
I like you, Davey.
He's just like, and I like you because you're a woman and I am straight.
That is so nice to hear. That's one of my something I look for in a man.
I look for a man not being in another man. That's what I look for.
That's something that is very important to me.
Yeah. He sort of looks around awkwardly. And he's like, "So you're he doesn't really seem to be going anywhere with this. He's just sort of like, yeah. You can actually, it gets a bit quiet, and you can actually hear the sound of your father and the captain talking through the wall, through sort of like would it be a bulkhead? I guess if it's inside, yeah. Anyway, like yeah, basically you can hear them talking, but then the sounds of the ocean sort of drown it out.
Okay, I want to go like put my ear up to the wall, and then
Davy comes over and he's just like, I have to advise. I don't think the captain would approve of that.
well, it may be the captain's business, but it's also mine because that's my dad.
He
Aww.
he looks a little awkward. He's sort of like, that's true, as if it hadn't occurred to him. He's like, yeah, no, actually, yeah. And one of the guards comes over to say something, and he's just like, "It's our dad, for fuck's sake!" And the man leaves. Yeah, he just awkwardly walks out of the room, and he's just like, "Go ahead. You overhear a few things. Roll me perception. Let's see what you overhear."
All right. Okay,
Just
give me a
let's see if
second.
you break the
noises,
curse.
really, for some reason. It's just
Give me a second. I'm gonna get it.
That's what?
just grunting. Really,
What's just grunting?
that's all she is.
Oh God.
I'm looking. I'm gonna get it. Okay.
Oh, she rolled high.
Okay.
Oh, you're
16.
so loyal. You're so loyal. 16. Yeah. So you overhear. You overhear the. It's more like the occasional snatched phrase, because the sea's quite. You're in open sea now, so there's quite a bit of noise and stuff, and there's the crew going on, and there's commotion from on deck. But you distinctly hear the captain sort of briefly mention Coldharbour. I imagine, roll me a history real quick to see if you know what Coldharbour is.
Okay.
It's a bit like Chillport, but
18.
18. So you know pretty much exactly what your father knows, but you would know it to be more of a. You didn't specifically hear the captain mention the charts or anything like that, but you know it. You believe it to be a real place. Like you've heard enough to hear to cut through the shit, and you're like, I know a lot of people don't really believe in it existing, but you pretty savvy. You're pretty sure it's a real place, and and then you overhear the captain essentially announcing your dad stands to inherit the ship, in a manner of speaking.
Okay.
So don't fuck it up.
Okay, I want to turn to the rest of the guards and just be like, they're in love.
God. Oh,
Roll a deception.
I'm so glad my persuasion is very high.
Okay, can you just, Dad? I have a
I
20.
tell you what.
I rolled a 20.
Oh, a 20. Oh, wow. What's your bonus on on?
It's skilled and then some, I think.
Wow. Jeez, that's terrifying. Okay, so yeah, she what do you say? Like you say they're in love. Do you say anything else or? You've got their attention. They're quite clearly everyone's like, oh my God, is she okay? Especially Davy.
I mean, I knew he was gay. I just never thought there would be potential for me to have two dads.
God.
Why have you done this to my game? Why have you done this? This was never a part. This was never intended. You're a terrible person,
Josh
Sydney. Right?
Josh
Yeah.
is just a homophobe.
Well, considering your whore mother, you probably have like 50 dads.
Right. Okay.
What?
Back on track. So Davey immediately he steps next to you and he's just like, "That's an outrage. That's the captain. He's in love with this man," and you almost sense he's almost like the way he says it is almost like, "What do you mean he's in love with him? I mean, he's barely even known him. I mean, we've been here for not
Yeah.
well, just a bloody outrage," and he's actually blushing a little bit. It's a little awkward, but the rest of the men look really disgusted, angry. A couple of them stand up. a couple of them are actually like. So there were two who were sitting there and they were playing a game of dice of some sort. They were role playing in the corner. They were playing some role playing games, and they just like immediately hear this. They stand up and they actually put their swords, like buckle them on, and Davy says, wait here a moment. I need to confront the captain about this, and him and the other guards leave the room, and you hear them. You'd actually see them head into the sort of the captain's quarters. So yeah. Unfortunately, Tatey, you find yourself confronted by a couple of guards just after you leave your the captain's quarters, who look pretty hostile. Actually, they're not, no weapons drawn, but they look very angry.
They're really offended by some of the comments you've been making.
That's
It's really
well,
homophobic.
Tater obviously doesn't know why they would be so angry with him after
Yeah.
all he.
I don't see why you guys are so angry looking. I mean, did you see earlier when we were against that Navy ship and there were all those, Marines over
Well,
trying
he
to
interrupts you. He's just like, "Shut up, scum! Get out of my way! I'm here to talk to the captain, not scum like you." And they march past you, except one of the guards. He stops and he's just like, "Maybe it's time we took a little bit of a walk." And he tries to sort of manhandle you out of the captain's cabin.
I'm gonna resist this.
Okay, roll me an athletics.
Okay.
Or maybe, you can roll an athletics. You can roll an intimidation.
I'm gonna go with athletics because that's
Yeah,
how
cool,
Tater
okay.
handles his problems.
Cool. Okay.
Because this is very. Does 22
He's like-
do anything?
Yeah. Okay, so this guy, like, he puts a hand on like your forearm as if to sort of like push you in front of him, like drag you along. How do you fucking ruin this guy's day?
I just kind of lift him off the ground, and
One-armed, just
just kind of
him
like
up.
I'm just kind of sitting there holding him and say,
I'll walk over right damn well, please. Now, what the hell's the problem?
He looks mainly surprised. I mean, this guy's wearing heavy, sort of almost like half plate armor, and he's not off the floor, but he's on his tiptoes, and he just wasn't expecting anyone to be lifting him anytime soon. So that's an impressive feat, and I mean, considering you're pretty much, he's about the same height as you, so that's really quite a feat, and he's just like we
Chat spam, kiss
we
him.
get out, because otherwise I'll tell you to the captain. He looks pretty shit.
I let him go, and I try to make the let go. Make it where he just kind of drops. Yeah, I don't want to let him.
Yeah, you sort of he stumbles. He falls back into the. In fact, as he stumbles back, he stumbles into the wall, and like on the other side is the captain's cabin. Captain comes out with the rest of the guards. There, you sort of hear like mentions of like laying with men and stuff, and the captain draws. Basically, duck foot pistols, like the So it's like 4 barrels.
Yeah.
Pretty ridiculous. Like it's almost like
Yeah.
a sort of rudimentary
Quadruple
shotgun.
barreled flintlock kind of thing.
Yeah. He has one of them, and he actually draws it. He's got 2 of them actually, but he draws it off his hip and levels it at the guards, who immediately like shut the fuck up and back off. And he's just like, "I don't want." Oh God, Captain's voice. Yes, well, I don't want to.
Winston Churchill, there you go.
Completely
You got it.
forgetting what the captain sounds like. Which is Yes, you bloody well better remember your place. Oh, your place will be at the bottom of the sea. Do you understand me? And there's a couple of mutters, like even Davy's like. Davy still looks a bit defiant, but he's just like, "Yes, sir." And yeah, he turns around to this guy who's like he's basically where he's like fallen back into the surface. He's made a lot of noise, and they've come out to sort of investigate. And he's just, "And you there, Basil, is it? Pompous little name. Look, what do you think you're doing? Do you know who this man is? He's a good, close, personal friend of mine." You see, like, all the guards roll their eyes at this. They're just, he's not helping the situation. But he's...
And I'm not catching on to anything.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are reading the chat because it's brilliant right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
It is
God,
brilliant.
I don't even- Tonight we feast upon man flesh. Oh, God. I want to tell a gay joke, but fuck it.
Two sausages
Oh,
for
God.
me, please.
It's not gay if you beat him up afterwards.
Wow. That's just abusive.
Make him love it, kiss him.
Kiss his
Okay, yeah,
man.
so
Okay.
Harkin does indeed know what's up. So he's, everyone sort of bites their tongue, and the captain says, I clearly need to have a word with some of my crew, especially those who are supposed to be loyal to me, and teach them a thing or two. And you are sort of gestured to
Sex
he says sort of
education lesson.
leave. Now, what did we learn about homosexuality? He says, pulling his trousers back up.
Wow.
All the guards are just like crying, just like, I'm sorry.
Now let's make it
sorry,
trade.
That's good.
This is out of hand.
Yeah, right. Okay, we're gonna buckle down now. So yeah, you're allowed to leave.
I'm serious.
Yeah. So you sort of hear this going on, Tot. What happens? Like, you're essentially alone in the guards' sort of quarters.
I'm just kind of kicking back and being like, wow, my plan is a lot more genius than I thought it was. Everything is just falling into place.
Cool. Do you do anything? Do you go anywhere, or are you just relishing
I'll go out and,
the success?
I'll go out and watch it and,
Yeah.
look real sad so I can get sympathy because of who I am as a person.
I'd like to be about on deck whilst all this is going on. Stirring things up a bit.
Okay. So Sutcliffe, you see this happening. In fact, pretty much like at the moment, like there's it's sort of almost like a changing of the guard sort of shift change. So a couple of the raiders are on deck, including Nancy. You've been called up onto the deck to sort of help just crew the ship, as it were, while some of the other guys who are a little bit exhausted. You took a few casualties actually, so there are some positions to fill while they're recuperating, and a couple of crew replaced. So you're both on deck. You see the doors are open. As the two guards who awkwardly left after Tot's sort of revelation about living with a gay family member, they left the doors open, and you sort of see all this kicked off inside. You can't really make out. You hear a lot of sort of. You can guess the sort of genre of topic.
Gotcha.
Take it Nancy would have heard about what Tot said in by the guns and stuff.
She
I
imagine
would have
it's sort
heard
of
what's
circulating
going on.
the crew, yeah.
And is James about?
James is actually he's sat right above. So there's to get into the captain's quarters, you walk between two staircases that lead up to the wheel, and there's sort of almost like a balcony just above it. And James is sat down with his feet dangling between the banisters and the balustrade, and he seems to be thoroughly enjoying the all the juicy gossip that's coming out.
Nancy is going to walk up to or jog up to him and sit with him. And she's just like, I like this girl.
He's just like, well, I have to say I can't say that I'm not upset, but I honor your decision, and if you ever need me to come by and give you two some pointers, I'd be more than happy to.
She punches him in the face as hard as she can.
His nose just like
Has probably been
crumples.
broken by Nancy many times.
It's not the first time you've broken his nose. It's pretty much a mess. He's still, he wears it with pride. He looks. It's probably the only thing about him that doesn't look quite. Yeah, exactly. He wears it with Kappa pride. His face is in fact rainbow coloured. And he falls back, and he's
She
just like.
passes him a handkerchief or a bit of cloth or something.
I come and sit down, seeing these guys chilling, whilst all this is going on.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously the place to be with the best sort of.
It's got a good view.
Yeah,
Some
you
good
well, no,
banter
you
going.
can't actually see what's going on. You can just hear it from underneath. But the acoustics are fantastic.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you hear all this sort of start to kick off. You probably catch the tail end of the captain sort of saying like, I obviously need to have a word with some of my loyal crew, or those who are supposed to be most loyal to me. And yeah, you hear.
Good thing there's no loyal crew around, lads.
there's a bit of uneasy laughter. Some people look a little annoyed at that comment, but others are sort of like take it as a joke, and then there's one or two who give you that look as if to say, I know what you mean, and I entirely support you.
Give
James,
me those
James
looks,
is just, yeah. There's a variety of looks, depends on who you look at, but they all, it's written above them in a little thought bubble. Gotcha. I support you. So yeah.
But
so
yeah,
this is going on.
Nancy is going to wait for James to put his nose back in place.
James actually sits up and he's like, you know what? I think he might have actually just... Yep, that actually feels straighter than it was last time. Jesus. Not... Jiminy Cricket. Nancy, that...
Gordon Bennett.
Oh, Gordon Bennett, Nancy, that... Oh, I knew there was a reason I loved you. And he sits up.
But yeah, she's like, can I have a word? And she just kind of looks at Sutcliffe's like, in private.
Oh yeah, here there's a good spot down below decks flat. Isn't that right, James?
He's just like, yeah, I heard you've been meeting the captain down there. Isn't that true?
Aye, that's right. We've been doing the devil's work down there together.
A couple of the crew genuinely look concerned that this might be true.
And then like we like hold like the look, and then we go, we all laugh.
Yeah, James laughs, but it sounds like almost a little forced.
Paid?
Yeah. But the crew probably put that down to the fact that his nose has just been exploded. He says, of course, any excuse to have you in private. I mean, not that I've ever had you before, Nancy. And he straightens up, hops. He actually vaults the balustrade, lands nimbly, and walks over to the hatch to lead down.
It's probably the most sexually charged episode that we've had so far. Everything
I don't know what
comes down.
It's all
to
Sydney.
gay
It's
sex.
all Sydney. I blame Sydney entirely.
But yeah, Nancy is gonna mutter something incoherently under her breath about James being a fucking show-off and blah blah blah, and walk downstairs and follow him into the hatch.
Cool. So, yeah. You, I can't actually pronounce that, but how would you pronounce that, Will?
What's that, mate? I'd say Zolan. I'd say Zolanora. There aren't character sheets to use.
Yeah, but I see what I can do about getting them up onto the Encounter Roleplay website. Maybe when I have a little free time. I'm a little bit busy at the moment, but yeah, we'll put them up, and we'll put up maybe a little recap. See if I can cut out a little space for that. Hopefully in time, if I find time, before the 24-hour stream, which is on Saturday. Do you want to just post a quick reminder in chat there? How does it go?
Yeah, on the Saturday at 12 p.m. BST, 7 a.m. EST. We're doing a 24-hour stream of D&D. There's some stuff you can join a video game for at 8 a.m. BST. There's one for Solace at that time, so please get involved and help us out. And thank you, Cal Skitterata. I think I said that wrong, but welcome to the adventure, my friend, gentlemen.
Waiting for Moldark to throw himself into this saucy mix. Entirely possible.
Yes,
I think Moldark is possibly loving this. I mean, it's got everything. It's got, sexually charged encounters and betrayal and treachery all over. Everyone's a traitor. It's brilliant. So this goes on. You follow below decks. James heads to just a random part of the cargo hold and perches himself. You find him sitting quite high up, actually, on top of some crates.
She grabs him by the ankle, pulls him down, and drags him towards the raiders area.
So you're going back up because you're currently below. He's just like, wait. I know where you're taking me. You're taking me to your place. Well, I was expecting to get shot down on the doorstep, but if you want me now, I guess it can't be helped.
Do you want me to break it again, James?
Says, he gives a look to like a passing crew member and is like, "I bet you know what she broke before, if you know what I mean." And then he dodges a punch from you.
But yeah, it kind of drags him to the raiders area and sits down and waits for him to catch up.
You've been dragging him this whole way. He
Okay, fair enough.
He's just like, yeah.
kind of.
There's actually
I sit him down on the bed.
There's only a few of your raiders around. They're all asleep. Everyone else is on deck.
And she turns around and she's like, "I need everything you know on this top girl or whatever she's called."
James is just like, well, you know, I don't make it my business to pry into other people's business.
Yes, you do.
Well, there might be a thing or two I've heard about her, but well, what's it worth to me?
She leans under her bunk and what coinage are we working in, by the way? Is it just golds or are we doing coppers and silvers?
Gold, silvers, coppers, yeah, it's all
Pieces
there.
of
I'm
eight.
just not keeping, pieces of 8.
But yeah, she.
You only get 8 of them in the world, so if you have a piece of 8, you are very rich.
Yeah, she grabs a couple of coppers out of a stash under her bed and kind of lets it fall onto her bed.
Cool. He takes the coppers and he smiles and he says right, well, if that's all, and he steps up to leave.
She grabs him by the shoulder and pushes him back down on the bed again.
There, he makes a comment or two, and he's just like, I'm really not sure what you expect me to do with this.
Get yourself a nice drink or something. Now cough up.
So, he coughs.
She grabs another couple of coppers and puts them in his hand.
He looks at you and he's like, I feel like we're working in the wrong metal here.
I thought anything would be better than nothing, bearing in mind the amount, like, the very little you're getting off the captain at the moment.
He smiles and says, you make the mistake of forgetting that I have arrangements with other members of crew who have a lot more coin to pay than you do.
Oh no, I've got more coin. I just
me
don't
and my
want to
big
give
mouth,
it to
I've
you.
said too much. He smiles and he says, well, in which case, if you don't want to give it to me, I don't see why I'm still here. And he gets up to leave.
She grabs him and pushes him back down on the bed again.
He pulls out a knife.
She drops the silver on the bed.
He puts the knife away. He's like, okay, I'll put this very simply to you. How much gold do you have?
Enough.
Fantastic. Then pay me.
How much do you want?
Probably more than you've got. What else have you got?
How much do you want?
He reaches. He basically goes for your stash. Like not in like a snatchy sort of way, and just like casually, just to almost like see what you've got.
And what does he find?
Oh, so you don't stop him. Okay, so he pulls out. You've probably got probably maybe like 10 gold pieces, and some silvers, and majority of it is coppers really. And there's a couple of like lead shot and stuff in there. You're not really sure how it got mixed up in there, and some lint and fluff. It's not the richest stash in the world. He goes through it and he's just like, Nancy. Well, if this is really the best you can do, says that I know Tater is something of someone that the captain feels is reliable. He's sailed aboard a ship before and brought him on with the
I
pretense
don't
of.
give a shit about Tater. What about his daughter?
Well, that's where it's getting interesting, you see. And he He helps himself to about half your stash, and then sort of puts a few coppers back and takes an extra gold, and he's just like,
Put
you
the
see,
gold down, or I tell the captain that you ran from the bar fight. What's he going to do with that, I suppose? A coward on ship?
He smiles and says, "Well, that'd be mighty interesting when I counter with the rumours I hear of you fancying yourself as captain."
I don't want to be captain.
But other people do, and you know
It's
he's
not
just
my problem.
itching for a reason to put you out of his service, as it were.
He
He can't be
afford
chief raider
to
for
put
long.
me out of his service.
He says, "Oh, can't he now? Have you seen the cargo hold recently? Have you seen the captain's quarters recently? Oh, he's got quite a stash on him. I don't
And all he
suppose he's
wants is
going to
more."
need people like you." "Oh, no. You see, he's got other plans, but," and he jostles the gold that he's taken. He's like, "But for this kind of money, I can't tell you what they are, can I?"
Welcome.
Thank
What
you,
the
all
fuck do you
Truden,
want,
for-
James?
He smiles. He says, "I want what everybody wants. I want the crew to be happy, and the crew would be happier with a more savvy captain."
So you want me to be captain as well then, do you?
Say, "As well, I wouldn't know anything about that. It's almost as if other people really want you to be, captain."
Captainess.
"Well, why limit yourself there? I mean, he is Pirate Lord Captain Borrow.
Oh, I know.
So what would you fancy? Maybe Pirate Princess?"
She just kind of looks at him like, "Me, a princess? Are you mad?"
He's like, "But surely you can't say that the idea has never crossed your mind, and think about it. The first female pirate lord."
That sounds slightly better.
"I knew you would come round to my way of thinking. But of course you need a plan, don't you?"
Right now, all I need is you to tell me everything you've got on top.
Smiles and says, "I'll be honest with you, I don't know all that much about Tart. See, Tart is, not part of the wager with the captain. He was expecting Tater to be coming alone, so I know very little about her. But I'll tell you this, she's a devious one. She's already got some very influential people on her side." And on there, we cut back to... Yeah, actually, no, we're going to cut to Sutcliffe.
God's
What?
sake.
Yeah.
Sutcliffe, what's going on, Sutcliffe?
Well, I'm
Buddy
just
old pal?
I would still probably be sitting on the same wherever we were next to Tot.
Yeah, cool.
Um,
So actually, like, Tater, Tot, like, what's going on with you guys? You're all in sort of vaguely the same area. What would Sutcliffe be able to overhear? What's going on? Tater, are you coming out onto deck?
Yeah, he'd be coming on the deck. He's probably wanting to get a hold of Tot, and because people are acting weird, and he's used to her stirring up trouble.
Cool. Tots, you probably walked past her. She came out to sort of like look, get sympathy and stuff like that. So she's basically, this Sutcliffe, this is going on right below you. You can't actually see them, but they are right below you.
okay.
They can
Thank
probably
you,
see
Runic
your
Spade,
ankles.
for following. Welcome to the adventure.
And what's going
Oh,
on, Tater?
so Tater and Tot are like below me, are they?
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
there's like a small, balcony sort of area that just juts out just above where the doors to the captain's quarters are, and you are currently dangling your ankles over the top of that. So they're talking right beneath you.
Okay, I guess I listen in for a bit, and then like walk down to go and talk to them.
Cool. So what happens, Tater? What are you saying to Tot?
I'm gonna go up to her while she's sitting there looking mopey, and like snap my fingers in front of her face to kind of make her stop it, and be like,
All right, what did you do?
Tot, you actually see behind the behind him, like the second like he snaps his fingers, like Davy like glowers at him, starts walking forward, and then the captain like steps in front of him, puts a hand on his chest, and the doors close. You hear raised voices, but you're not really sure what's going on.
Nothing. I have not done anything. At all.
I think
What?
you're lying to me.
Nope.
Roll an insight check.
Now, what's going on here, then?
I say as I swagger my way down.
Roll hold on real quick, just as that's happened. Sydney, do me a favor, roll me a deception.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's blatantly obvious that she's lying.
I kind of look around and
I think you and I need to go somewhere alone for the moment and get this settled out.
I go to like I do the thing where I like kind of grab her by the hand to like kind of drag her off, and I guess that's when
Probably
Will
when
can
I
run in.
arrive, yeah.
Yeah,
What's going
Sutcliffe
on
like
here?
bumps down. Real quick, just to let people know, Sydney, you have inspiration, and Will, you have inspiration. In fact, yeah, actually, everyone apart from Beth has inspiration.
Wrecked.
Yay!
Cool.
We all just
Don't worry, I'm sure it will come soon.
It will do, don't worry.
Yes.
You'd add that in.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, I say, what?
What's going on here, then?
Yeah.
I'm just being a dad because my daughter's being a liar.
Like, I
How
want to
so?
resist him, like, yanking me. I'm gonna resist that.
Oh, we're gonna roll some checks. Let's roll some checks.
Oh no.
Both of you, I tell you what, roll an athletics, and then Sydney roll a dex saving throw.
Okay.
It's a,
Jesus Christ.
it's a domestic dispute.
It's just a domestic
shit.
officer. Just a domestic.
Damn.
Yeah, she slips through your fingers. Like you grab hold of like something, and it's her clothes are a little bit like raggedy, and like a tiny scrap like rips off of the shoulder, and she's just like she slips free.
I say,
She's now like behind Sutcliffe, essentially Sutcliffe's
Yeah.
between the two of you.
Yeah, I say,
What seems to be the problem here, Tater?
I come walking out of the captain's ship. Actually, before we even stepped inside, I hear that my daughter's apparently been telling everyone I'm gay. And then, lo and behold,
Well, you
I
are,
come-
aren't you? That's what I heard.
Who'd you hear it from?
Some of the lads.
I wasn't the one who spread this.
She's not a lad, is she? She's a laddess.
Yes. That
Kind of
is
come-
true.
Kind of walk up to him.
Well, I'll tell you what's not true. Whatever those rumors are you've been hearing. You best do whatever you can to try and stop the spread of that, or I ain't gonna be too happy.
Well, things seem to spread all too easily around you, don't they?
very much meaningly innuendo.
Yo.
And
I will spread a head in half if it doesn't get fixed.
I bet you.
I'll walk away.
I'm sure you will.
I turn back to Tot, and I'm like,
So what's this actually all about?
It's just something that I've been kind of skeptical of for a really long time, and we just came on this boat, and it's like the second they made eye contact, I just knew.
Yes, yes, lass. You and I both know none of this is true, but why exactly be a lion?
What do you mean?
I like,
Are we
I
like
I lean in. I'm like,
I'm a pirate. I can tell a liar.
okay, are we like off like to the side right now?
yeah. I guess like we'd like walk off to like somewhere where there aren't loads of pirates around.
Okay. Can I trust you?
Aye.
Right. I just kind of have a plan. I need this.
Plans be
captain.
dangerous things for girls on ships, lass. What is be the plan?
I just need this captain gone, and I'm working on it. It's coming. It's coming together.
Right,
Just-
why you need the captain gone? Many of him, well, he's influential fella.
I think a lot of people need the captain gone, and I think a lot of people are motivated by the same reason, if you know what I'm saying.
The fact he's gay.
Yep.
Yeah, smile and say,
Well, mayhap I'm not too interested in the captain myself. Mayhap
Well,
I
what's your-
also have a plan.
What's your goal here?
Say, well, like you say, we all have similar interests and motivations.
Why did you help me the other day? When I first started talking about how my dad was gay, why did you back me up?
Well, I may have had vested interest in that happening as well, spreading the same vicious rumors.
Okay. So, are you proposing that we...
Kill the captain, yes.
That's not what I was gonna say.
Oh,
Roll me a,
only kidding.
roll me a stealth check.
Wait, who?
Will, roll me a stealth
Okay.
check.
sure. Okay, cool. I rolled a 19.
19, yeah. Yeah, so like actually like just before you said that, you noticed like some people like walking towards you. You like probably paused for a second as they
Yeah.
walked past. It was actually a couple of captain's guards, but they walked through into the room and you whisper it. You're very conscious that people could overhear.
Cool. Yeah, and
I say, well, maybe not. Just simply depose and replace him in a new home somewhere far, far away. Chillport, maybe. It's nice there this time of year.
He can die. I was just kind of in the mindset of getting other people to do it for us.
Oh, yes. No, hands off. I like
Yeah,
that.
laissez-faire.
Indeed. Well, I happen to have a few of the lads who are also keen on this venture of ours. Do you have
Okay.
any on board?
Possibly.
Well, I suggest we join our forces together.
All right.
Do you like your father? Or is he... Where does he fit
Is
into
Tater
ours?
is Tater like still?
no,
Because
we
he
went
hasn't
off to like a
actually-
quiet
That's
area,
I said I
didn't we?
walked away after I had my
Yeah.
last words.
Okay, cool.
Last words.
I love the idea of you just like, yes, we're talking about killing the captain. While we're at it, oh, Dad, can we kill him too? And he's just like awkwardly standing in the conversation. Like,
No, I didn't. I was saying,
well.
I was saying, can we kill your dad? I'm like,
Where does he
Yeah,
fit
yeah, yeah.
into
No,
all
no,
of
no, no,
this
go
in
on.
your little plan?
I love my dad, but he's old. If he gets in my way, we'll just have to fix it.
Aye. Age on these seas is a fickle thing.
and I look out to the seas mysteriously.
Yeah. So, if something were to happen to him, I'll get over it really fast.
I see. Very well. Perhaps we should wait for the opportune moment.
Okay.
If an opportunity arises where perhaps we can make a move, then I suggest we have some kind of safe word so that we know, or a look, like a real sneaky pirate look. That's what we need.
Okay. I'm kind of new to this. Can you demonstrate what?
I like tap my nose conspiratorially.
Like this, lass.
I don't think that's. I think that looks really stupid. I think we should not
Okay.
do that one.
What if
Okay.
I wink like this?
And I do a really obvious like blinky wink thing.
Sutcliffe, you can't actually wink. You can only blink.
I can, yeah. I've realised this now. Butt fuck is
good,
the
that's
safe
one eye.
word.
There's my sort of petty revenge for killing Kai's parents. You can't wink.
Oh, you bested me there, sir.
How the fuck
that
do you feel
blog.
now?
Oh,
sick burn.
yeah, butt fuck is the
Mildly
safe
embarrassing.
word.
Butt fuck is. How about?
Chat. We need a safe word, a piratey safe word.
Yeah.
A safe word for gay sex.
Oh God. For initiating.
When I say this, it means
fuckery.
stop.
Fucking.
Oh god.
Copy for the win. Yeah.
Okay, so
How about we say a phrase that is all mysterious, like the birds have flown the coop and are off to Chillport this winter.
The birds have flown the coop and they're off to Chillport this winter.
Aye.
You don't think we need to shorten it or anything? You think that's the way to go?
We could shorten it to albatross.
I like albatross.
Aye, albatross it is then.
and
Alright.
I lean out, I put out a greasy hand to shake.
I'll spit on it.
Yeah, me too. Just on my hand or on yours.
No, on mine.
Oh yeah,
Like
you just
Peter
spit on my
Pan.
hand.
like the
no.
idea, like you spit on your hand, you don't shake, you just spit on your own hand. You just walk away for no reason. I
I
need to take this spit somewhere.
I take it and then give her a grin and like go off somewhere like down.
Wait, before you go off, I'm gonna
Yeah.
drag you back
Oh, hello.
and say,
Aye.
if you fuck me over, I will hurt you.
I'm not in the business of fucking, unlike your father.
And I turn around and go.
I
Being unlike
this
her mother.
guy.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, we cut back to Nancy and James. There's sort of, there's been some bargaining going on. It's not going particularly well. James is being pretty stubborn about this.
What's he saying?
Roll me a persuasion. Actually, we'll see how stubborn he's feeling. How are you going to coax this out of him? Are you going to like try and persuade him?
I am
threaten him,
going to
seduce him,
bribe
what's going on?
him and
Bribe him,
seduce
okay.
him. I'm going to seduce him.
Roll me a performance.
I'm not going to seduce him. I want to intimidate the shit out of him.
Don't like
Roll
that.
me
You
an
want to-
intimidation.
You want to seduce?
A 22. That is. He's seduced, intimidated, bribed, all at the same time. He I mean, you'd recognise James. James is cocky in pretty much every situation, but for once it looks like James might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. And you sort of, how do you intimidate him? What do you say? What do you do?
The next time he went to get up and leave, because I wouldn't give him any more money, I pinned him up against the closest bulkhead.
Kinky.
Take it how you will. And just basically,
Sure he will.
it's like,
You can't escape it. You can't escape it tonight.
no, I can't. And she's just like, my brain's just disappeared.
Cool. By the way, next person to sort of unnecessarily make this sexual will lose inspiration.
It's gonna be you, Josh.
I indeed lose inspiration. I lose the plot. I commit seppuku. Yeah, no. Try and keep it. Try and keep it while you're not in the scene,
You're
guys.
like basically saying that I can't play anymore.
Exactly. No, but if you're not in the scene, guys, try and keep it.
But yeah, she pins him up against the closest bulkhead and leans in. See, I'm going to end up doing it now anyway. She leans in, possibly
You're
a
in the
little
scene,
bit
you're allowed.
too close.
Yeah, if you're anywhere near him, you're too close. He tries to make he makes a nervous sort of laugh. It's like, Nancy, what did you eat last? Oh, you're
And she kind of whispers in his ear, oh, seductively. It's like, you will tell me what you know, or you will regret it for the rest of your life.
James doesn't know how to take this. Is that a threat? Is that a promise? He doesn't know, but he wants to find
Both.
out on a 22. He wants to find out, sure as hell. He says, "Well, okay." Oh, Okay, then. I may know one or two things about Tot. For example, did you know there's a reason that well, she keeps her ears covered?
And why would that be?
Well,
She's insecure.
she has massive ears. They're just grotesque in every way. No, he gives her a look, and he's just like, well, Dumbo. No, he says, well, you see, the thing is, Tater, he okay, don't say that I told you this, because I'd hate for this to come back and bite me in the ass.
Of
But
course it won't,
you know,
James.
he looks convinced and terrified. And he says, but she's got some elven blood in her. Her mother, I would imagine, as her father doesn't seem to be remotely graceful or anything else I've heard of the elves, but yeah, they're from Southern Yai, down with Rubion's lot. You know, the invading army of elves that are supposedly
I know
freeing
who
the south.
Rubian is.
He shuts up. he looks very uncomfortable. It's like, of course you do. So, well, I'm not sure some of the crew who seem to be taking such a shine to her would treat her quite as amicably if they found out about her heritage. And speaking of that, I know she's being awful friendly with a lot of the crew. I think she's trying to use it to her advantage. I'm pretty sure she's got some sort of plans of her own.
That's what I'm counting on. And she kind of, as he's been talking, she's just kind of been lifting him up, so he's probably just about on his tippy toes right now.
He's a very scrawny individual. So
yeah.
It's like, as he's talking, he's like,
well, like foot off the floor.
Yeah. He's just like, well, I've heard that she's actually got some plans of her own. Yep, maybe that would be of use to you. And he's
and
she dangling.
Just, without another word, she just takes the money back off him, puts it in her pocket, drops him on the floor, and walks off, and goes to find Tot.
He's got a big grin on his face, and he looks very dazed as you leave him. Okay, Tot, where are you at the moment? Where are you wandering off to?
I pretty much I've been staying where, that we just left off. I didn't move after.
Cool, so you're still sort of on the main deck.
You probably see me coming out of wherever we were.
So you guys were on the main deck near the,
You see me going down the stairs then, probably.
The mizzenmast, yeah.
How's James?
A little bit worse for wear. She just kind of smiles and carries on walking.
Yeah.
With a little bit of a childish giggle.
I look worried.
But yeah, you could tell she's way too pleased with herself. Whatever she's done, she is way too pleased with herself about it. But yeah, and yeah, she walks up to Tot.
Cool, Tot, you are approached by Nancy.
But yeah, and whereabouts is Tot? Is she by the edge? I want to say edge of the ship. The fencing around the edge of the ship.
Who put that fence there? Why are you all fencing? It's very odd.
Oh wait,
it's a bit weird. You saw someone actually stealing some of it the other day. Yeah, clearly they took offence.
But yeah,
continue.
But yeah, she kind of walks over to Tot. She's like, "I have a proposal for you."
I'm listening.
It seems due to
The echo is rude.
it seems due to certain newcomers upon the ship that I've lost one of my raiders.
Oh, you talking about Dad fucking up?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
one way of putting it. And I'm in a position I'm in the market for someone to join us. You seem to handle yourself extremely well in the bar fight. Would you be interested?
What exactly does this entail?
We run in, all guns blazing, kick the shit out of everyone, get all the gold, bring it back, the captain takes it off us and we get fuck all. But it's good fun.
What
This
a
captain really
sales
sounds
pitch.
like a piece of shit.
He is.
So you agree? You think he sucks?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think most of the ship will probably agree, whether they admit it or not. But that's another conversation. What do
Doesn't
you
have
think?
to
Are
be.
you interested?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? It doesn't have to be.
I mean, I feel the same way. If you want to kind of talk about that now, I'd be interested.
I'm listening.
Do you have any plans? I don't know, pertaining to the captain at all?
I believe we have some things waiting to be set in motion, but obviously it's waiting for the opportune moment.
All right, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I want a girl to be in power. And, I don't care if it's you, I don't care if it's me, and I don't care if we work together to get there. That's what I want. I want to take him down.
Nancy just kind of smiles and says, "Come with me," and walks towards the raiders area.
Okay.
Cool. As you guys start to depart, there's a there's a bit grills in power. Yeah, so there's a bit of a commotion. The doors to the captain's quarters open up, and the captain, surrounded by his guard, actually march out aboard the main deck, and he says, "Everybody, we are well. Stan has passed down word that we have some merchant vessels coming out of what looks like the Outer Stavros." And he points, he gestures towards Stan, who's up in the crow's nest. And he's been waving and pointing. Hasn't really said you haven't heard any yells or anything like that. Maybe you were just enraptured in your conspiratorial conversation. But yeah, there's a bit of commotion going on, and he's gesturing towards 3 ships that appear to be on the horizon, but coming towards you.
Hoist the mainsail.
Without a second glance, Nancy is going to climb the rigging and jump into the crow's nest. Nancy, Stan.
Cool.
Because they jump into the sea.
I was so hoping for that
Just
outcome.
commits.
I was like, well, that saves me 1 death. Now I've just got to work on the rest of you. Right, so yeah, we are now going to everyone is sort of mustered to station, and we're going to have to put that on hold, guys, because you are going to do some honest fucking pirating. Because so far all you've done is talk, and I want to see you earn it for real.
Can I possibly disappear for 2 minutes before we get started?
God damn you, man. Yeah, we can take a 2-minute break. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we can take a 2-minute break as everyone yells various commands. Everyone sort of snaps to. So I'm actually going to ask you guys sort of where, like Sutcliffe, where would you see yourself in this situation? What sort of role do you usually take? Are you furiously chopping carrots in the kitchen?
I
Is that what
absolutely am. Got to keep these boys hungry. Fair dude. I'd probably help like running some powder and stuff, organising people, shouting at people. Like, I took like quite a command role last time, so he kind of fits back into that again.
Yeah.
That's probably what he's doing.
Richard McCanzy, yeah, well, they've got to earn it for real. These cargo holds aren't going to be bursting to the brim unless they actually pull their thumbs out of their asses, so I'm going to make them actually work for it. Right, so what I'm going to get you guys to do for starters is to see how prepared you are. So if you're doing some powder running, let's see you run, monkey, run.
Oh,
So,
I won't be running. I'll just be shouting at people to run.
Cool. Okay, right. Everyone, roll me an initiative, and that's going to determine on what you guys are able to do.
Cool. I just want to remind people, anyone in chat that hasn't yet followed yet, please do, because at 500 followers we're doing a game with our parents. So hit that follow button. We're going to be here again on Saturday, all day long for a 24-hour stream. So please do join us then and tell your
Indeed.
friends, tell your mum.
Yeah, we'll have more Coldharbour then. We'll have the
Broken
Pirates.
Kingdoms.
Coldharbour, Broken Kingdoms. What is it, Blades in the Dark?
Blades in the Dark with Math and TV. We're doing some D&D with Delinear. We're doing Solace. And me and Sydney still haven't decided what we're doing.
And viewer games and stuff. It's going to be
I
a lot of...
voted that we do rock, paper, scissors for 4 hours and impressions of each other. But
Yeah.
that idea got shut down.
I mean, no, I'm all up for that, but
Rock, paper, scissors.
it just depends what... I mean, I'm cool with that.
Chat, are we up for 4 hours of rock, paper, scissors and just general
Yes.
banter?
But I mean, just like
So-
one
also-
game.
well,
like,
yeah.
it's one game of rock, paper, scissors, and you don't know who wins until like
Until
the very end.
The suspense, yeah. At which
Okay,
point, if
cool.
you win, you propose to me like you promised you would, with the ring pop which you bought the other day.
Yeah, with the ring pop.
Yeah, so
This is entirely happening and entirely endorsed by Encounter Roleplay.
it is.
Yeah.
Sydney, quickly roll me a 1d20 plus your, is it Dex modifier, I do believe?
How do I type that in?
/ roll, and then space.
You also on the left, there's those icons. You can click the D20 icon.
Oh yeah, you can do it.
I do that.
If you want. But if not, it's / roll space 1d20 plus your dex bonus, which...
Yeah. So it's always / roll and then however many dice, what type of dice it is, like a d20, and then plus whatever modifiers you have.
Okay.
There we are. Wow, bloody hell. You guys are rolling some pretty fierce rolls. Okay, we're still waiting on Beth, so I can't
That's
unless
right,
she
we
rolls a
can-
nat 20.
Have a read for chat real quick.
Yeah.
Twitch plays D&D. But yeah, the 24-hour stream is going to be pretty fun. And then again, of course, we're back to the usual schedule afterwards, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And we'll be doing another 24-hour stream once we hit the £300 donation towards Comic-Con. And there's donation things that we're doing at the moment to raise some money towards Comic-Con. You can find the info down below. It's actually only £1 to give inspiration now. We've changed that around, and we switched those around. So if you want to give inspiration, so it's only £1. And yeah, once we hit 300, that's another 24-hour stream. So that's going to be...
Irving Wolfin 7, we are not done an hour early. We're just
No.
taking a quick 2-minute
We're
break
back.
while Beth fannied around, and we are back.
I have tea again. I'm happy.
Yeah, okay. You can't pirate without herbal brew. It's entirely true.
No, you can't.
A great man once said.
I relate to Beth on a spiritual level right now.
I only
Good
relate
to
to Beth
hear.
on a geographical level.
Beth,
We live fairly near.
Thanks, Will.
Well, that's really unfortunate for you, isn't it?
Yeah,
I relate.
really
I
is.
relate commands to Beth, such as roll me an initiative. God damn it!
Delinea says, was asking for inspiration to make the game unnecessarily sexual again. God damn it.
Yeah.
You read into me, Delinea. You read me like a book.
Yes. Is it a saucy book? I'd imagine so.
It's the lusty Argonian maid.
Oh,
plus-
it is.
Plus Dex or plus Constitution?
Plus Dex, you
Oh, it
moron.
is.
I will get
wish-
my
I
head
wish
around
the
it at some point.
What does that even mean? That question.
11.
Wow. Okay, so you're going
Punish.
last, Beth, which I'm entirely shocked. This is entirely unforeseen circumstances. So, we do believe who rolled highest? Was it you, Tater? I do believe it was. 23.
Yep.
Yeah. So Tater, right? You've got yourself a good roll. So you are going to decide basically, what we're going to do is like a Will's travel mechanic to start with. We're going to that we entirely credit Will for. Pick a skill of something and tell me how you prepare the ship for this bit of honest piracy. You're essentially going to be attacking a couple of merchant ships that seem to be coming towards you.
Okay, I'm going to be I'm going to take the wheel, and I'm going to do my best to aim it right at one of the ships so we can go on and just smash one.
Cool. You are quite far away, but you want to take the helm, yeah?
Yeah, and just set everything up to just make this thing turn into like a sniper bullet aiming straight at these merchant ships.
Cool. Okay, so what are we rolling for that? Is that a perception check? I feel maybe just if you're trying to light up, or maybe it's a investigation history, something like that. Who knows?
Let's see.
It'd be on your personal
Okay.
character sheet, just so you know.
I wish it was persuasion. I could talk to the ship. Yeah, there we go. But
well, you could persuade
survival?
someone
yeah,
to give up
talk
the
to me.
helm.
All right, I'm going to like kind of be shouting orders about how to do this.
Unfurl the sails. Set it up.
I'm giving all these commands out.
You're basically trying to persuade them that you know what you're doing when you're not actually that skilled at trying.
True.
So essentially, yeah. Roll me a persuasion. 6.
Damn.
So, you are not given the wheel. In fact, the guy at the helm, he's in fact who rolled again? Sydney. Yeah. So the guy at the helms is not giving in. He just keeps sort of batting you away. He's like seriously, I don't know who you are, but piss off, will you? I'm trying to focus, and he's taking the ship sort of along. You look like you're on an intercept course, but you're not going for like a head-on sort of approach. Who's next? Sydney. What are you doing at this moment in time? To sort of
I'm
prepare
still like near Nancy, right?
Yeah,
I'm
you're
following her?
next to her. Like
Okay, I'm
this
next
all
to her.
happened.
Okay, I'm gonna turn to her and just be like, "What do you want me to do?"
Cool. Nancy, this girl, Tot, who you supposedly teamed up with, is asking you for advice on what to do. What do you want her to do? What's a good thing to do?
What's your athletics or acrobatics like, Sydney?
I'm looking. Okay,
Try and keep it in
proficient.
character. Like, I was,
Okay.
Okay. How are you at climbing?
I'm pretty damn good.
She looks up to the crow's nest. It's like, Stan could always use a hand. And
All right.
Moldark,
So-
take the wheel.
Um,
Modoc, take the wheel.
Acrobatics. Yeah. Acrobatics. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be acrobatics.
Yo.
21. You are up there in a shot. You how do you get up there so damn fast?
she flies.
I'm small. I don't have a really.
She
high
levitates.
Nancy throws her. She just flies.
Yeah, I just basically like scramble up, using all my super awesome strength. I'm
Cool.
super strong. Okay, I'm really awesome.
Yeah, okay. So you get up there. You make you're a bit of a show off actually when you're getting up there. There's a lot of flourishes of like little flips and stuff, and you land. And Stan like looks down. 1 second you're on the deck. He looks up, and the next second you're halfway up, and he's just like wiping his eyes. And by the time he's cleared his eyes or his eye, because he's only got one eye, he you are there in the crow's nest. And he's just like milady, not that you're a lady, not that you're not a lady, fuck's sake. And he hands you a telescope, and he's just like, do me a favour, and and he sort of points over there and sort of like makes
I've got
a
it.
monocle to the eye, and he's just like, watch that ship, of them ships. That I need to.
Okay, I can watch
yeah.
the ship. I got it.
Cool. He's busy loading a musket. Cool. So we move to Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe, what are you doing at the moment? How are you getting powder run?
Skivvy up, you Mongol dogs. Yes, Mongol, I said that.
Let's slap him in the
The
face.
Mongol dogs.
Yep. And yeah, I'm just
Damn
like,
you,
One of them squares up to you. He's like, my father's Mongolian. What are you trying to say?
and he's a
Decks you.
bastard as well. Get on the cannon.
In counter roleplay does not endorse that. Yeah. So what are you rolling like?
Yes, we do.
Intimidation.
let me see actually.
Persuasion's already been rolled.
Yeah, probably go for an intimidate then, even though
Cool.
I'm not very good at it, but who cares? An 18.
Intimidation 18. You are actually pretty good at it. I mean, a couple of people seem to sort of take offence, but they are being ordered around by you. But they snap to it, and yeah, the powder is soon running fair and true, and
Just how
that's
I
a
like it.
worrying sight. Yeah, as it's running through the ship, and people are running after it trying to catch it. It's all going terribly wrong. Yeah, in fact, at one point, like I imagine actually, like one of them's just like, I found a barrel down here. I'm not sure what it is.
Bring it
it's
up.
Myrrh. It says myrrh on the side of rum or something.
Aye, we can
backwards.
use it to
Under-
blow something up, no doubt. Bring it
Cool,
up here
he's,
and fire it out a
He
cannon.
brings up your stash in the
Oh,
barrel.
it's not in there anymore, though, is it? I moved it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He opens it up and he's just like, why the fuck are we hauling empty barrels? And he tries to like he takes
Get
it
on
up
the
to-
captain about it. It's terrible, terrible quartermaster, and fire it out now.
Do me a favour, real quick. Roll a persuasion.
Okay.
Or a deception.
Deception,
One
yeah,
of
I'm
the
just-
two. Yeah,
just
deception.
lying.
Roll me a deception.
For a
Yeah, you are.
it's only an 8.
An 8. Yeah. He's just like, well, it's not the captain. I think it's rum. It's your department. Why aren't you keeping track of resources?
I'm
And
a cook. I'm not a quartermaster, you scurvy dog. Now fire it out the frickin' cannon.
he looks at you like you're an idiot, and a couple of other people are just like, how the fuck are we supposed to fire a barrel? What are we, Donkey Kong? And he just
Yes, you are.
He throws it overboard. What are we, monkeys to you?
Well, you are.
Yeah. So finally,
Shouldn't say that.
Beth, what are you doing?
Well, I thought I knew what I was going to do, but then Will rolled intimidation, so I haven't come up with something else yet.
Well, that's fantastic. Do me a
Yes, it is
favour and come up
fantastic.
with something.
I'm coming up with something. I would like to roll perception to see if I can figure out how long it's going to be before we get within gun range of the ships.
Cool. Okay, roll me a perception.
11.
11. You're coming up on the ship. You can't really tell. You're not really sure. There's a bit of a breakdown of communication. You being a raider, like that's sort of been handed over to you. Command of the ship is very much on a different channel to you, if you catch my drift. So people aren't really keeping you in the loop. So you don't really know. You're coming up on them, but then the ship starts to turn, and now you're not coming up as fast, and you know you're going to be within range soon. Like it's best to start running the powder, but you don't know.
Okay.
Cool. Which takes it to us. I'm just going to quickly see how well. There are two ships that are they're really quite small, and then there's the third ship, which looks to be crewed but without any armament. So it's a merchant ship, and it's got two escorts that are quite small. No one is actually at the helm, so the man at the helm is going to quickly roll a initiative, because Lance Held High is quite a big ship actually, so you probably do he says, forgetting entirely that Lance Held High doesn't have a token. Bloody fucking thing. Oh, roll d20. And you're coming up on these ships. I'm going to say the first two, someone who's mostly in charge. I'd say maybe Nancy. Nancy, you're on the lookout. Or actually, no. I've just realised, Tot, you are actually up in the crow's nest. So you see a flicker of fire, like from the cannons. the Lance Held High is quite evidently a pirate ship. It's a menacing-looking ship, and you are on an interception course. They get the picture. So open up Lance Held High's character sheet for me, Sydney, and roll me a. You can choose. Like, do we reckon we're going to try and evade the shots by turning sharply, or are we trying to take the shots and continue like a boss?
No, let's try to evade it.
Okay, roll me a dex save.
Okay.
Yeah, they miss. They miss entirely on a 34. They're so yeah, the shots go wide. Everyone on board sort of seems pretty like geared up for a fight now. The raiders are all pumped, and we're going to keep the initiative order. And we'll start off by Tater. You're at the top, and you're coming up aboard. You're coming up sort of alongside the ship. You're matching the pace of the lead escort. The man at the helm, he turns to you and he sort of says, "Well, what are you doing? Take some kind of command. Do something. Make yourself useful."
I just kind of give him this kind of little glare. And about how far away are we from the other ship?
You're about 200 meters. You're within range for a broadside, but it's not optimal range, and you probably need to come around a little bit more.
I kind of glare at the man and
Get us closer to the ship, and I'll wreck the whole lot of them.
and I start to kind of run down to where the kind of up on the deck. And I got like my javelins and stuff out like that. I maybe grab one of those that you say there's some like little personnel guns up there to man.
Yeah, there's a swivel gun up there. Yeah. So
I'll get
cool.
the swivel gun for the moment.
You get a little bit closer. You're probably like just about. You can sort of make people out on the ship. We're talking like it's a brig. It's only got 2 sails, so it's a lot smaller. But it's got a deck of cannons and stuff. Are we firing the swivel gun?
I'm going to fire the swivel gun until the ships get closer. Then I can use my good old-fashioned hammer.
Cool. I like your enthusiasm. I'll use this, but only because I can't punch you in the face from this distance. But you just wait. I'll get there. So yeah, do me a favor and fire a swivel gun for me.
High. Okay, let's high.
It's in weapons, ranged weapons.
Alrighty. There it is. Swivel gun. And boom.
Cool.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
Jane, stop this crazy thing!
actually nothing happens. The cannon doesn't fire at all. So it's sort of like there's a bit of confusion. One of the men runs over and he's just like, "We got a batch of wet powder up here," and you see a couple of men run around, sort of coming up for more powder. You get the. It's a little bit embarrassing. It's like that kind of, "Yeah, eat this," and then nothing happens. It's like and you're like, "Oh God."
I promise this never happens.
This is why I stick to melee. You can't run out of ammo on a hammer.
Yeah, roll me a perception check real quick.
Ooh. I'm gonna perceive.
What do you perceive?
I perceive.
Yeah,
nothing.
you actually take.
My rolls are shit.
You are going to take. I do apologise if this quite hurts. Let's see if he.
Oh, Irving Wolf asks, is it a regular swivel gun or a puckle gun?
It's a regular swivel gun. Puckle guns, they're a little bit too advanced. So round shot pellet whips past. It barely misses, like almost even clips your ear as there's small arms fire from the ship. It looks like someone on the brig took a pot shot at you and very nearly hit you just then.
Can I see which guy it is? Like, kind of mark him in my little memory?
No, it's sort of like you'd know it came from somewhere sort of near the back of the ship, but apart from that, no. There's quite a few people like loading like muskets, but yeah.
I'm gonna kind of, I guess, then just hunker down and wait for the ship to get closer and have my maul out and ready to go.
Okay, taking it to Sydney's turn. Sydney, your ships are coming sort of within range of each other now. What do you do?
Okay, can I just use like any of these weapons in the lance held high thing?
Yeah, so broadside cannons, chain shot and grape shot, and swivel. You can't use swivel guns because you can't reach them because they're down on the deck. And the chase guns are, well, you can't reach any of these, but you can give orders to sort of fire any of these. Chase cannons are currently aimed forward, and the lance ram, you have to let them. You're sort of matching their pace. You're parallel to them at the moment. So, yeah, if you can justify it to me, I'll let you use anything.
Yeah, well, I want the
The dangerous claim.
yeah, I'm gonna call out to somebody down there and tell them to try and use the broadside cannons.
Cool. So
Send the
you're calling out for.
broadsides.
Yeah.
Cool. Sutcliffe relays this information. Yeah, you
You heard
yell it
the
out.
lady.
Yeah, and a couple of the men look eager to impress you with their cannons, and they
Of course you are.
yeah roll me a broadside attack.
Okay.
No advantage, no disadvantage, just a regular old broadside. You're about 150 meters, so it's it's average engagement range.
Okay.
Hit that button. Wow, 28. Okay, so actually you 28's not actually brilliant. I know it looks brilliant, but the
No.
modifiers are pretty hefty. Yeah, so 28, most of them miss. You get a few minor hits, sort of. It's mainly like you hit sort of rigging and a few sort of non-essential parts of the ship. One or two people seem to be flung overboard, but there's quite a lot of people on board this ship, and they are coming closer. It looks like they're trying to board. Will, it is now your turn. You are
They're trying to
a
board
midship,
Will.
I guess. They are trying to board you, Will.
Good lord.
You're currently a midships. Cannons have just all fired. What are you doing?
Good question. I look at my skills. I am going to finish this sentence. Have we used perception this round?
No, it's not like I'll let you. I'll let
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Cool.
Do
Well,
what you want,
I
if you can
as the
justify.
cannon's fire, I go and look out and see if we how good our aim was and if we need to adjust.
You can tell immediately. Like, it was unfortunate. There was a wave between the two of you, and this is quite a low slung ship. A brig doesn't
Alright.
actually have
So
like a lower
for,
deck.
like,
So
the
it's-
next one, I want to like time it so the wave doesn't like go on like a time. Like I see a big wave coming in, I'm like hold it for a second and then.
Okay. So I tell you what. If you're aiming, like, you'd need to reload the cannon, so that won't be till next turn. But I'll give you advantage on the next shot against
Cool.
this ship if you're aiming. Taking it to Nancy's turn. Nancy, what the fuck are you doing, Nancy?
You said
Live your
they're
life.
trying to board, aren't they?
They're getting ready to board. Like, you
Trying to
could
board well.
recognise they're there's a lot of men. They're armed. They've got ropes and not climbing gear, but boarding gear like hooks and grapples and stuff.
In that case, I want to roll intimidation to get my raiders
Get the boys
ready to kick the shit out of them when they
Cool.
slash get over
roll
there
me an
first.
intimidation check and tell me what you say.
A 5.
Tell me what you
I-
try and say.
She's just like
She said
she just
5.
kind of looks around to see if there's anyone there, and there's no one there. So she just
Yeah.
second that she just goes and looks.
She like turns around dramatically in slow motion, like as she puts on her tricorn and draws a blade. She's like, "Boys, we are."
not going to do anything because none of you fuckers are here.
They're already above decks. Yeah, they're already above decks. Tater, you actually see the raiders come aboard, and a couple of them give you very angry sort of looks.
Well, that
Maybe
doesn't
you
really
know
separate
why,
them
maybe
from
you don't
everybody
click.
else.
They very much like you. Pretty
You
much,
wouldn't
they
know.
they come up from a midship to the main deck, and everyone sort of gets out of their way. They're all armed in like leather armor. Most of the crew aren't wearing armor, but these guys are all wearing like light leather armor and like studs and stuff like that. A couple of them even carry like trophies and stuff, like some pretty nasty looking bits and pieces.
I don't give them any mind. Everyone else is glaring at my character, so why are they? Should I treat them any different?
Cool, fair enough. Okay, so you guys are a couple of grapples come up on deck, and just before that, you guys are going to take some cannon fire, and the galley and the other brig are breaking off to sort of change their heading. They're moving away while this brig is engaging you. So you hear like the captain like yelling out stuff like, "Yeah, never mind these bastards. I want the galley. You take that galley if it takes your lives." And you know, men are jumping to it. You guys actually take some minor cannon fire, which is D20. Yeah, 67. So the ship is hit. People amidships. I mean, one of the cannons gets knocked. It's not destroyed, but it's like there's a much bigger hole where it was poking out of the ship, and it rocks back onto the deck. And yeah, the whole ship sort of almost rocks from the volley. Holy ship indeed.
Oh.
Hey, bada. So yeah, the ship sort of recoils from the hit, and as that's happening, like a boarding party starts to clamber up the edge of the ship, taking us back to Tater. Tater, what's going on?
Okay, so we're now side to side with this little
yeah,
kind of
you
like
are
destroyer.
indeed. Are you still at the swivel gun, or?
No, I'm going to actually I'm going to try and run my way up to the other ship's wheel, and
Cool. She's below you by like quite a bit. I mean, she's probably comes level to like.
Well, I'm going to rage
you
and I guess try to do a leap over to the other ship's wheel.
Cool. Roll me an acrobatics or maybe an athletics. Depends on what sort of. Yeah, no, it'll be an acrobatics. Roll me an acrobatics.
Okay. I am then going to burn an inspiration on this because.
Okay. This could go horrifically wrong.
Yes.
Let's see how big a splash you make in the ocean when you miss. 13. Okay, so you jump, like you actually jump with I'm gonna say like on a 13, like you actually hit one of the boarding party on the way down. You both tumble onto the deck.
He kills another raider.
yeah, you kill one of the other raiders. No, you land next to you land on the deck next to like one of the boarding party who's on his feet, probably faster than you are, and you find yourself in combat. He's going to make a quick attack before we move on.
Okay.
And we'll see.
Is this an attack of opportunity or a regular attack?
It's just a regular attack on you. It's almost like an attack of opportunity, like as you're trying to get to your feet. Does a nat 1 hit your armor class?
No. Does it hit one of Beth's raiders?
No, it doesn't. What actually happens is So on that, I'm gonna let Will roll me another broadside. This is your reloaded broadside, and let's see. Yeah, at advantage. You're at advantage. You're also at point blank range, and sort of the waves, like the ship is almost angled downwards onto the ship. This could be horrifically.
That's a
powerful.
31.
That's a 32 at advantage. Yeah. You so Taylor, you look up, you see this man, he grins at you, he raises a sword, and then he disappears in sort of a red cloud of mist.
He can't teleport, he's a mage.
And the deck basically explodes. So the ship's not like instantly sunk, but there is no way this ship is going to stay afloat, and you are flung from your feet. You're not hurt, but you are flung from your feet.
Okay.
I think that must have been a heavy fall I took to just break this whole ship apart.
Um,
Tater takes
So,
full credit for that.
I do take full credit for that. That's the tater gun. So I'm on the ship now. I still have a turn, or is that?
Yeah, you can. I'll let you make your attacks.
So does this ship look like it's about to go kaput?
Oh yeah. That
Okay.
broadside is fucking
Is-
ruined this ship.
Are the I think it might be time for me to crawl back up into my original ship. Then. Job well done. Time to get back
planned. Yeah. Yeah. So there's still loads of like grapples and stuff.
Okay, I'm going to do an athletics check. I got advantage
Yeah,
since
cool.
I'm raging.
Yeah, that's fine.
To hoist myself
14.
up.
Yeah, you make your way up pretty uneventfully. You know, there's a couple of moments where it's touch and go, like the ship's rocking, and there's a couple of shots near you as these people are obviously want to take a few of you with them. They realise they're scuppered. On board, you know, a couple of the boarding crew have made it on board. Sydney, what are you doing?
I'm hiding up in the crow's nest.
Cool. So Stan, he looks at you and he says, "I hope you're a better shot than I am." And he gestures to his one eye and he hands you a fully loaded musket.
Okay.
He likes this musket, doesn't he?
He does
Stan is-
indeed. He doesn't like it when you fire it though. You're rubbish.
Okay. I'm gonna just aim it at the clearest possible enemy. And like I'm gonna do that thing where you get really nervous, so you close your eyes and you're like 3, 2, 1. Oh God!
I
I'm gonna
love
do
it. I love it. What's your dex modifier?
3.
3. I'll roll it for you. Save you typing it all in. 12. You miss. But you know it's pretty close. You sort of shoot the balustrade next to one of the grappling hooks. The guy who was about to come over thinks twice about it for a second and then comes over anyway. Stan goes, "Meh, well, better than Nancy. At least there's some woman on this bloody ship that can shoot." And he's like, "Let me show you how to reload." And he starts to show you how to reload this thing, taking it to Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe, what's going on, buddy? Old pal?
Arr. Well, we got him a pretty good broadside just then. So Alex,
This ship is
is going
fucked.
down.
Yeah, but you can also see through the porthole. Roll me a perception check, mate.
Sure. You know what? I will.
Or don't, and
No,
I'll
you
just
don't have to.
assume
It's
you are.
optional. It's a 20.
It's like, wow. It's surprisingly like a couple of the other people they're too busy cheering, but you my friend, don't take your eyes off the prize, and
No,
you
I
can
really
actually
don't.
see the galleon and the brig, the other brig, and they're moving off in a more westwardly fashion.
They're sailing west, lads.
Cool. Are you doing anything with that information, or are you just relaying it up?
Well,
to
yeah,
the,
no, I guess I
guard
relay
helm?
it back up the chain of command, upwards to whoever's on the helm. I run up and I shout that to whoever's on the helm, they're heading west, and
Cool.
kind of point out to where they are at
Yeah.
sea.
Yeah. Okay. So he, the guy at the helm, he's just like, I couldn't see them. There they are, listing slightly to the left. Brilliant. And he,
Why do we always put the
Each,
blind man on the helm?
the guy's actually wearing 2 eye patches. He's just, I don't bloody know where I'm going.
Eyeless Dave, they call him.
Eyeless Dave, indeed, as opposed to Straight Dave, who's completely different.
They're brothers.
They're brothers. Oh, this is the gay one.
The
isn't
gay
it?
brother.
This is the gay brother.
That's why his
Yeah,
has
no.
no eyes. They've been poked out by. Anyways, continue.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving swiftly on from that. Yeah. So
Whose
he
inspiration?
he immediately sees that. In fact, at this moment, the captain comes on deck and he's just like, "Where the hell is that? Where the hell is that ship?" And then you rush past, and he's just like, "Oh, right. Well, everything seems to be at hand," and he
Aye, that's
vanishes
his
back.
You'll go
He
back in
vanishes
there.
back in. He's just like, good. He heads back into his cabin. The guards barricade the door shut. Yeah. So whose turn is it next? I believe it's Nancy's. Nancy.
Yeah.
How's it all going? Like, you are now. Are you with your raiders? Have you run up to join your raiders?
Yes, I have found them. And yes, we're just. You said a couple of them made it on board, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, quite a few of them. By the time that broadside came around, there was probably maybe like 15 grapples come up aside, maybe 12 people, a couple more coming up. Your raiders are outmatched. Well, not outmatched. They're outnumbered, but never outclassed, and they're giving them bloody hell. Do you join in?
Yes.
Go for it. Roll me some attacks.
Attacks or skills?
No, some attacks. Well, unless you want to use a skill, in which case use a skill. But I would imagine attacks are
those
better
are
for
two
murdering
options.
people. Or you could literally go below deck and do whatever you want. I don't mind.
23.
Cool. On a 24. Yeah, you. Who do you attack? Just some random merchant boy. These guys quite clearly aren't like experienced fighters. They're not navally trained. They're privateers, but they're not top of the class. And they you how do you cut this man? He's not dead, but how do you injure this man?
I want to kneecap him.
How do you kneecap
Basically
someone with a...
Just slice the tendons behind the knees.
Oh, that's okay. So yeah, he you actually
Ooh.
miss. You hit him in the back of the fire, but it's pretty deep,
Oh.
and he
On a 23, really?
The fire is like a pretty bad place to get hit in anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well,
You're gonna
otherwise,
die.
he's literally complete. But he goes down, and
He's been
you can finish
stabbed
him
in the
off if you want.
I want to finish
You
him off.
sliced the
Rip.
back of his thigh open.
It's
You
like-
probably still hit tendon.
Yeah.
Another attack?
Yeah, roll me another attack, or don't. Do as you please, really. 12.
12.
Okay, so you actually still, believe it or not, 12 still hits one of these guys. Do you finish this guy off?
Yeah.
Yeah, you how do you kill him?
Is he dead?
Yeah, you kill him. How do you kill him? That's what I mean by how do you kill him.
No, I didn't hear what you said because someone coughed as you spoke.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright.
Sydney,
Um,
we're trying to enjoy a moment here.
I'm trying to
Stupid
enjoy my
Sydney.
bronchitis.
Okay.
But yeah, as he falls, she just wants to like bring her cutlass back around and slice his throat as he falls to his knees.
Cool. One of your men, Billy, is just like sees you joining the fray, and he's just like, "Nancy's here, boys! Let's get him!" And they rush forward as a en masse, and it's a bit of a mob actually. And these guys just like the boarding party quite clearly weren't expecting such a hostile like. It doesn't appear to. The raiders don't appear to have realised they're on the defensive. They're going full out attack. They're just like, I don't give a shit. And yeah, these guys start falling pretty heavily. Taylor, you just about bring yourself back on board the ship for this. The ship's now moving away from the wreckage, and a gust of wind actually aids you guys. And let's see how much progress you're making. Are you catching them? I wonder. Someone roll me a dex save for the Lance held high, and we'll see how fast she is.
Somebody who's not me. Roll that.
Oh, it's just a lance attack. Yeah, I'll roll it for the,
Oh,
the ship.
shit.
Cool. Roll that
dex
shit.
save. Yeah.
Yeah, a dex save.
It's a 21.
21. Actually, you're it's a little difficult. Like you're sort of actually a little entangled with the with this brig. It's in the way. You're having to go round the wreckage. And yeah, the wind isn't particularly favourable. I mean, yeah, occasional powerful gusts, but you get the feeling they're starting to progress away from you in this galleon. So, tell me what you're doing now, Tater.
Okay, there's still some sorties on the deck.
Yeah, there are indeed.
I will sort them out then. Let's see, Tater's
Cool.
going to draw his maul, because this is what he was born to do. Still got the rage going. And
Yep.
let's see, are there any, like, what are the current melees going on? There's some with the raiders. Any other, like, specific melees going on, or is it just a random bloodbath?
So yeah, the raiders are essentially just they've sort of formed a loose fit semicircle, but they know what they're doing, and these guys are being cut down.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to go into the I guess, the biggest mass of enemies I can find and just start swinging them with them all and turn them to pulp.
Cool. Do that shit.
Alright. Doing the shit. And I get it. Ooh, boom.
Cool.
That
19.
damage.
Yeah. How do you attack?
He's gonna like just kind of bound across the ship, swinging them all above his head, come up behind, I guess, the nearest privateer, and just try and like catch him up underneath like the back of his foot, to just trip him up and do as much damage on that swing as possible.
Yeah, he doesn't actually fall, but you hit him. He just he manages to sort of spin with the momentum of it, but he stumbles. Quite clearly, can't put any weight on the leg, and
Okay.
yeah, roll me another attack.
As he's still kind of twirling, I'll do my extra attack and come around with the back swing, and just try to land it straight onto his head. Boom!
Cool. So tell me how you massacre this man.
Well, I guess the maul comes up in a big arc as the guy's spinning, lands right onto his head, and it's like a David Gallagher sort of performance of just splattering it all over the place, because that's how Tater rolls.
Cool. He this guy it ceases to exist. It's horrific. It actually, like, one of the other guys like turns with like a shocked look on his face and is immediately run through by one of Nancy's raiders. Taking it to Sydney. Sydney, tell me, you've reloaded this musket? Are you gonna take another shot? Are you gonna join the fray? What's going on?
I'm gonna try and take another shot because for some reason I just really want to impress Stan.
Stan's the man.
Stan the man.
Indeed.
And
roll me a d20 plus 3. Or do you want me to roll it for you? I don't mind.
sure, go. Yeah, you do that.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. No, I saw that. 21. Yeah, you who are you
Wow,
aiming
I'm
for?
so good at this.
What are you aiming for? Who are you aiming for?
I'm pretty much just taking aim at whoever I see that looks bad.
Cool. So you see, there's like a ringleader, like leading these guys. How does indeed? Let's see.
I typically
How
aim for the
badly?
face.
You typically aim for the face. Well, that's
Yeah.
good to know. I'm glad to hear it. His head just, yeah, it's again, it's messy. You guys, your family has good taste for messy deaths, and you carved this one out pretty violently. He dies, and Stan's just like, yeah, I knew you'd get a taste for it, and he says, maybe you want to get down there and join the fray. I'm out of shot, and he says, and make sure you bring me some up next time.
Gotcha. Okay. So
Cool.
yeah,
You going down?
yeah, I'm gonna crawl down.
Cool. In my head, you like crawl face first down the rigging like
Like
Spider-Man.
Gollum.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's what I was going for.
Cool. Sutcliffe, last round. What's going on?
There's like a fight going on over there, isn't there?
It's pretty much over. Like, their ringleader just got shot in the face. A couple of them have actually surrendered. Beth, real quick, you guys taking prisoners?
Yes.
Cool. In which case, a couple of them have surrendered. Yeah. What's going on, Sutcliffe? You got like five people who've just thrown down their arms and given up.
Are we still pursuing the other ships, or are they just gone?
No. Oh, you definitely like you stand to gain ground on them.
Okay. Well, I guess like there's like some cheers going on because we've got this one and they've just surrendered, and
Yeah.
so I'm like, get back to your station. There's still 2 more ships to plunder, and try and raise some kind of
Urgency.
cheer and urgency back to people. Yeah.
Cool. What are you rolling for me?
I will roll just for you, Josh. Seeing as it's you, I roll I'll say performance because it's more fun.
I
That's
like it.
exactly the same. So 12.
So yeah, like you know, it's hard to be heard above all the commotion, but yeah, no, they do. They jump to it, and just for that, roll me another dex save for the lance held high, and we'll see if you start making more progress.
Cool. Dex save is a 35.
You fucking
crit.
yeah, they jump to it. It's a little bit casual, and then this gust of wind, like Tater has just let rip, and
Yes.
that's it. You guys just start hammering towards. To the extent, like, actually it jostles the ship a little bit. A couple of people who weren't jumping to it, like sort of stagger, and you guys start. You'd very much be aware you are bearing down on these guys.
Awesome.
So that's
I want Tater to be standing right there at the front with them all ready, like he's. Once we meet the ship.
like he's planning to like screw the
Yes.
naval ram. I will
He's
hit
doing,
them.
He's doing a
I
Titanic
remember-
at the moment.
He is.
He's doing an
awesome
Nancy.
indeed. Yeah,
Awesome.
Nancy. Speaking of Nancy, what are you doing, Nancy?
Nancy has gone to find some kind of tying implement, such as rope, to secure the prisoners.
Rope on a pirate ship? Never. There's no. Okay, so there's an abundance of rope. You don't need to go far. There's rope.
Yeah, and she's securing the prisoners
Cool.
and trying to basically scare the living shit out of them.
Everyone, roll me a perception check, real quick.
Yard.
Nope. No worries.
I'm at the front, so
17.
Sutcliffe.
About 20 boys.
six.
I'm loving it.
Wait,
So-
it won't let me click on the thing. God bless.
Okay, so Tater, you are focused entirely on these ships that you're bearing down on. Beth,
I am.
you realise a lot of the people on deck are actually who aren't sort of the cannon crew are getting distracted. They're looking off to the west, and you look over to where there's a sort of a storm coming. It looks like dark clouds and stuff like that. But there's also like what looks like mist, heavy fog. You can't really tell coming towards the ship. Sutcliffe, you realise that this is pretty spooky shit. Like there's actually, it looks like thunderclouds are traveling towards your ship specifically, but they're sort of spreading out. It's like fog is supernaturally spreading across the surface of the water, and you would actually be able to spot on a nat 20. It looks like there's, you know how you see like thunder flashes in the clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you see some thunder flashes in the fog.
I
Almost as
wanna,
if-
like,
Yeah.
turn around dramatically for like the last line and I say, lads, there's a storm coming.
And his name is
As
Tater
you,
Dandy.
as you actually say that, you just catch something streaking out of the cloud, and on a nat 20, I'm going to say you realise that it's not lightning, it's cannon flash, and
Nice.
two things happen. One, you see the galleon that you're pursuing start to take fire, and two, as you look up, you hear two things. You hear Stan start to yell something. You hear a raven cawing, and you see, as you look up,
Oh,
you
not
see a
more
raven
ravens.
holding position above the crow's nest, and Stan looks down at you and vanishes as the crow's nest explodes.
Nice. Awesome.
And on that
bombshell.
literal
Literal
bombshell,
Diddle-diddle-din.
Awesome. That was fun.
I feel so
Tater
bad
sees
sitting there. I was like,
nothing.
I really want to impress Stan. And I was like, rip Stan.
Yeah.
He's going to be dead any second now.
He was so impressed before he died.
Yeah.
That was,
He exploded with so much pride.
Kappa pride. Too much Kappa pride.
Yeah.
Killed him.
Some men.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for that. That was,
fun.
That was a really awesome session. Thank you,
incredibly
Jeff.
sexually charged for some reason. No, I like
Felt
that.
so
Thank
much
you very
about my
much.
character.
And myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Feelings.
people, feelings, emotions.
Yeah.
How's it all going?
All pretty good. Pretty good. I know. I had
Pretty
fun.
good.
That was good fun. Yeah.
Oh right, no, I see.
I was okay. I mean,
Yeah. Sutcliffe's
I mean-
parents died. Did that really?
that makes it
Did I
better.
forget to mention that thing? Suddenly the stream's brilliant.
Oh God, I love this. There's pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun.
Mm. You
Oh,
guys
yeah,
did a
you
lot
had a
better
great
this
deal of
time.
fun defending my honor against my daughter.
I just
Are you
love
saying
how
that it's not
Tate was like,
honorable to be gay?
yeah, Tate, yeah, exactly. Tate, I like how Tate was like, boarding party landed. The ship was wrecked. He was just like, fine,
That's right.
I'll climb back.
It's all me. It's like
yeah,
that scene in Family Guy where Peter's trying to like leave the stadium and he's walking through the rows of people. He can't get out that way. Can't.
Yeah,
I guess we're back for more Pirates though on Saturday.
we are.
Yes.
What time?
24-hour stream. I will tell you the time afterwards when I actually know the time. I have it up on the Google thing. But
have to tune in, I guess.
yeah, the stream starts at 12 p.m. BST, 7 a.m. EST. So join us on Saturday. If you follow us on Twitter, I'll put the schedule up on there for you guys to see. So go follow us on there, and we'll put it up on Facebook as well. So be sure to check those out and do that. If you haven't followed already, hit that follow button. At 500 followers today, Game of Our Parents.
Also, I do believe for the next episode of Pirates of Coldharbour, we have a special guest.
We do indeed. We do indeed. Oh, Quintus Stray just got here. Sorry, dude. Like I say, 24-hour stream on Saturday, so I know you'll be there for that, my friend, and I'll be drinking some coffee, which you kindly got for us. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. And Coldharbour with a special guest, indeed. Can we reveal who that special guest is?
I
No,
don't think
no,
it's
we
going to
don't.
be much of a surprise.
No.
But
No, it's our one and only Mythomatic. Cord is joining us. He may even be taking up the role of Mr. Matic, the giant mute who wasn't actually seen this episode, but I imagine he's terrifying and
Just lurking.
it would, yeah,
Just
he's
lurking in
lurking.
the chat. Awesome. Yeah, so thank you everyone who has come along today and followed. Thank you to BTYM, Torsion24, Crawlated, Kalus, Kalskirata753, Altrusian, and Runic Spade for following. Every one of you are gentlemen and scholars, and everyone who's been here during chat today and dropping the banter and the cap of pride. We thank you all as always. So we'll be back on Saturday, guys, and goodbye from all of us here at Encounter Roleplay.
Ta-ta.
Thank you very much.
goodbye, guys.